The tape. We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? 2 is on the board. Heck yeah. Great start. Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? You know what that means when 2's on the board? We was grinding tape today. That's all that means. And we just got done grinding tape, and here we are live. And that's why I want to start with this message. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. We have been putting up way too much content. People aren't getting notifications when we go live anymore because we got too much uploads. All right, and that's just how the business works, okay? So y'all know our schedule by now. We are live 8 to 10 Monday through Thursday. If it's your first time watching us tonight, welcome in. Glad to have you on our live show. We got a great and jam-packed, loaded national hour for you right now. The boys got their reactions from an absolute insane week 7 of college football. We got coaching dominoes starting to fall in college football. And we got week 8 previews as well. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Let's go ahead and get to work. Boys, after a loss to Oregon at home, a road loss as a 21-point favorite to UCLA, and another road loss to a 21-point road loss. Home loss? They lose to Northwestern at home.
Home loss.
Home loss to Northwestern at home by a 21-point favorite. My man James Franklin out at Penn State, fired today. Boys, the final record, 4-21 against top 10 opponents during his tenure at Penn State. 15-28 versus top 25 opponents during his time at Penn State. But it is the 2 final losses against unranked opponents as a 21-point favorite that ultimately cost him his job. Everyone in media seems to feel like this was either rushed to or seems like relatively surprised by this. Most people in the local media were kind of obvious and aware that they were very, very tired of James Franklin, and this had kind of run its course, you know, being thankful for where he brought the program out of, right after the Bill O'Brien experience out there at Penn State, now to where they currently are. Very thankful for that, but ready to move on is what the ultimate, kind of decision-making process process, or feeling was rather, out there in Penn State. I saw a lot of takes about he was a quarter away from a national title appearance back in January, and now here we are. I saw that take again compounded by, hey, this guy 15 days ago had College Game Day in town. He had number 3 team in the country, was 1 play away from beating Oregon in overtime type deals, right? Seen a lot of takes like that. 15 days later is fired. And I understand those opinions, and I get it. But I think what our lesson now and what the lesson should be moving forward in college football is you cannot spiral. You cannot spiral and seem to have lose control of your entire football program unless your buyout is something like $145 million. None of these buyouts are too large anymore. Penn State looked at a $57 million buyout, a team that just lost 3 in a row, and their starting quarterback's out, and figured, well, the season's cooked, so we might as well go ahead and eat this money and get on top of this coaching search that we feel as if is necessary. So that was the lesson I learned from this, guys, is you cannot spiral. You cannot spiral as a football program and a coaching staff, and that's what we saw today. And to be honest, I think Florida State would have eaten the buyout had they seen what they saw. You know what I mean? They spiraled, and had they known, okay, the Alabama win looks great, but here we are again, spiraling again. And I think if you ask Florida State fans, hey, if y'all didn't have to buy out an ACC contract, would you buy out that football coach and get in the mix as one of these football programs available? I don't know. I don't know how Florida State fans feel right now, but them 3 losses to those 3 football teams that shouldn't beat you apart from Miami probably don't feel very good.
And here's the thing with James Franklin it's important to talk about how close he was very recently. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, it felt like he was really close, and he was in the college football playoff. But in the midst of being close, the entire conversation this offseason was, this has to be the year for Penn State because it seems like all the cards are lining up for them and that everything is in place for them to do so. You got your returning quarterback, all the returning pieces, this, that, and the other. Like, we spent an entire offseason talking about Penn State that way. And so, yeah, the close loss to Oregon, that's okay because everything was still in front of you. But then when you rattle off the 2 losses that you did, the conversation then becomes, well, we talked about this season being for them. This is the year for them to actually make a title run if it's going to happen. Well, when it isn't going to happen anymore, then the conversation is, well, it may just never happen with this guy. And then it may be time to, hey, we got to look at some other options.
We always talk about on this channel, expectations ultimately dictate the feelings of the fan base, you know, whether good win, lose, or draw, right? Expectations going to this point, to your point, or to the season, to your point, where this is the one. We got a national title contending roster. We spent a lot of money getting guys back. We tried to add to it. Hell, we went and paid $2.5 million for a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this was the chips all in season, and you bust by week 5, week 6. Like, no, you got to go. Like, that's the way they probably felt.
Yeah, and it's also you don't allow for that backdoor hope to begin. They still play 2 top 5 teams. Let them. Yeah. If James Franklin, just hypothetically, say he sticks around and they beat Ohio State, or they go 1-1 against an Indiana or an Ohio State, and it's all of a sudden, hey, James Franklin can win the big game. There's that hope again. You've basically just saved yourself from the recurring cycle of what you've dealt with 11 years of. We always seem to find a way to stumble. So after that 3rd loss, your season's effectively over. You're not going to the playoff. It's time to cut the cord, and that's what Penn State did. I
think it's a top 12 to 15 job.
Yeah.
What say you, Curb? 12 to 15
easy,
range?
Easy.
Yeah. You would maybe argue top 10?
You could put it in there. I would say it's probably 11 or 12, but definitely in the top 15.
I think it's the 4th best job in the Big Ten. I would go Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon.
Yeah,
and not in no particular order with those 3, but they're in a more advantageous position for the football coach than what is currently available at Penn State, in my opinion.
True.
So that makes you a top 12 job. Let's talk about some candidates. Matt Rule, Kirk Cignetti, Vanderbilt's Clark Lee. Boy, that would be a Jonathan Williams sign-off right there. Matt Campbell out there at Iowa State. My Matt Campbell, my Cyclones head coach, Matt Campbell, in the mix potentially. Eli Drinkowitz and Manny Diaz. Now, I got a couple of takes. First and foremost, you make Kirk Cignetti say no. That's my opinion. And here's why. Okay, here's why you make Kirk Cignetti say no. Because apart from Kirk Cignetti, that's a whole bunch of he won at places he shouldn't, but couldn't beat teams he couldn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole bunch of, Matt Rule won at Temple. He's doing decent at Nebraska. He won at Baylor. Find the big games. Hey, my man Clark Lee, doing a bunch of it. Got one big one. I guess everyone at Vandy's pretty big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone at Vandy's pretty big. But that literally is the clone. God did great at Vandy. Go hire him. Matt Campbell, kind of the deal out there. I don't remember a lot of Matt Campbell big wins outside of tight, close ones in rivalries versus Iowa. My man Manny Diaz. Okay, that's a let's bring the defensive coordinator back, but I don't remember a big game won at either Duke or Miami right now.
No.
So that's my first take. My other take, some of these guys, I mean, Matt Rule makes the most sense to me. He's from there. I've given you the opinion on Kirk Cignetti. I think Kirk Cignetti sees 10 wins a year on the horizon at Indiana and a damn statue outside of that place and that entire state admiring and acknowledging that he is the greatest of all time the rest of his life. That's what I think Kirk Cignetti should do and might ultimately do. So there's my take on that one. Now, my final take on this list, Eli Drinkowitz. I think Eli Drinkowitz has got the right job for Eli Drinkowitz right now. And that is a Missouri football program who just spent, $300 million on their stadium? $300 million wrapping the rest of their stadium. By the way, really loud and tough place to play as is right now, and they're about to enclose the stadium. They just had $63 million donated anonymously from a random booster in the state of Missouri. You don't leave jobs like that. That's the fifth, he's performing like it's the fourth, maybe fifth best job in the SEC. You don't leave that job to take a lateral job at Penn State, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on all those boys? I've seen some other mentions in here. The Dan Mullen stuff's crazy to me. Y'all know I'm a notorious Dan Mullen hater, so I'm just going to pass on that one. But, I mean, congrats. You're winning at UNLV. I guess. That's cool. I don't know.
I think the bigger revelation here is that Penn State is now the best job available of teams that have already let go of their head coach.
Because Florida keeps dragging them feet.
Yeah, they do. They do. And I don't know why, but we've continued that conversation. But
because 7-5 apparently is enough under that athletic administration.
So, they're the biggest job available right now, the best job available. And we just rattled off what appears to be the hot board of guys that could potentially fill in this roles. And there's good coaches on that list. Don't get me wrong. Matt Rule's a good coach. Cignetti obviously doing great things, but it's not like all these headlining names that everybody keeps throwing at these jobs. Like everybody wants to throw in Lane Kiffin's name into every single job. I know that Lane Kiffin probably not going to transition over the Big Ten, but I think it kind of opens and it kind of settles the market again of just because you're the biggest and best job available right now doesn't mean that it's just, we can just pick from anybody and they're going to come to us. I mean, there's certainly a process to this.
Mizzou isn't the fourth best SEC job. Right now it is. How many football programs in the SEC are averaging 10 wins over the last 3 seasons? I got Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, because they went 11-0 or 11-1 basically every year under Saban. Mm-hmm. Who else?
I think LSU might have done it.
They're 9-3 under Brian Kelly.
I mean, over the last couple of years.
We ain't getting to 5. You see what I'm saying? They're doing it. Now, you can make all the excuses about schedule that you want, but he's a 10-win guy over the last 2 seasons at that program. So that's my opinion about where he's at Missouri. So now that program might not be a top 5 perennial annual powerhouse, but we are he's building that right now. He's still 4 years in.
I also think one thing that you don't really see a lot of is this cross-pollination of head
Texas
coaching jobs.
Texas is a good shout, chat.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
Texas is a great shout.
You don't see head coaches take jobs within the other conference unless it is a clear-cut move forward. Like Dan Mullen took an SEC job at Florida because, hey, let's be honest, Mississippi State was a bottom feeder in the conference. Florida was that much of a step forward. Going from Indiana to Penn State right now would be a lateral move. It would alienate a fan base, and you would have to face an Indiana team that would absolutely hate you every 2 or 4 years. So that's why I don't think Kirk Cignetti or the Matt Rules or anyone else in the Big Ten right now is an option for Penn State as much as they'd like him to be.
Just a question that
Brian
I have.
Hartline?
It's interesting that that's certainly a name. It's why isn't he being thrown around in these conversations? He hasn't even
sneakily interviewed for that Toledo job last year. I don't know if
he
y'all
did.
noticed.
You're right, and that's usually the introduction.
Very under the radar, very much so.
An introduction of, he's definitely interested in potentially taking a job. If he's interviewing for Toledo, then he's going to interview for just about anything else that he's able to. But my question is, and it applies to the Penn State job, but this just kind of applies in general to these head coaching vacancies. Why isn't Fran Brown being thrown around?
Ooh.
Because he just hasn't had the season that makes him the hot button name.
And it's still very, very early. It's the only thing that I can think of. And because he obviously doesn't want one. In my opinion, when jobs like these come available, especially as the cycle continues. We're about to play yes or no, does he go? Because there's like 15 coaches that apparently people think might get fired.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about this. As these jobs continue to pop open, the more and more Fran Brown's name does not become available, just know that's because his agent is no longer texting Pete Thamel saying that he wants one of these jobs. Because they would be tweeting about him in connection to these jobs if his agent was putting him up for these jobs. That's just how this works, okay? Word gets out that coach might be interested because agents talking to media rep that coach might be interested. And if Fran Brown's interested, his name will circulate, all right? But that's my take on that. And because we are 14 games in.
Yeah.
We're 14 games in.
Give or take.
To Fran Brown.
Well, more than that, but
You're no more than
Oh, yeah, you're right. We're 17 games in.
You're no more than
Like, I'm a big-time believer.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am. I think we all are. But I think that's what the thing is.
It just makes me wonder, too, like, had Angeli not gotten hurt, is he still, like, a hot name that everybody's talking about of, like, this is the next one? Like, this guy's going to he's going to explode somewhere. And it may be at Syracuse, but it may be at somewhere else. But I was just curious, too, especially because Penn State is his region of the country. Like, that is where he succeeds. That's where he knows. It's, like, where he's familiar. So it was just a question I had. But, I get it. Like, they haven't been the hot team in the ACC as of late. There's certainly been some cool down there. But just another one of those things of like how quickly the market shifts.
Who wants to play yes or no, does he go?
Let's do it.
I like this. Here we go. Yes or no, does he go? Billy Napier at Florida.
He goes.
He's got to go.
He's got to go,
Gotta
right?
go.
You can't let this guy allow 7-5 to be the standard at Florida. It just can't be it. That's not how that football program is supposed to be. Yes or no, he's got to go.
Yeah.
All right. Yes or no, does he go? Hugh Freeze at Auburn.
This is hard because he's recruiting well, and you're going to lose a lot if you do eventually let him go. Like, you're going to lose some really good players on your roster right now. However, I think what we have seen with Hugh Freeze over the past couple of years at Auburn is that you can put a lot of talent on that roster. He's not getting the most out of it. So does it really matter?
That's what the fan base keeps telling me. Like, who gives a damn if we got a talented roster? He keeps going 7-5, 5-7.
Yeah, there's
What's it matter? He keeps losing games like this. He's got his tight end out here telling them telling media we're better than them, but we keep losing football games. By the way, knowing some people over there, that's how they feel too. That's how they feel. They feel as if they have a roster better than everybody else's, and they keep finding ways to lose these football games. And that's a good way to fire a football coach. So I am always been of the belief you can't because of this. Everyone keeps talking about buyouts, and I don't even know what his buyout is. I'm sure it's swallowable. But the deterioration and the immediate loss of all of that money you just spent on those rosters, all of that sunken cost, that's way too much for me to eat. There's way too much promise there for me to be walking away from wiping my hands. If anything, maybe there's no way you can even interim DJ Durkin because who's going to call plays?
Yeah.
True. But
what are you going to do?
The question is, though, when do you cut the cord on that? Because he's probably going to recruit well, and he's probably like we said in the summer, it's like, man, this looks bad for him. He's probably done. At what point do you say, okay, we can't keep accepting 7 and 5?
Hot take. You just let it happen this offseason or this season. You throw $3.5 million at Buster Faulkner. You make him your offensive coordinator, and you take that half of that huge salary and give it to Buster Faulkner, and then fire him midseason next year, make Buster your interim head coach.
Here's my take on the situation.
Hugh Freeze isn't going to go for that.
No, he's not.
My take on the situation is,
why not just fire him at that point?
When you start losing your culture, I don't even know if it existed in the first place, but when culture starts to spiral like it has, it seems like
Go ahead,
already.
give the take.
There's
let the people know.
Hugh Freeze, I kicked a player off the team. I think he's a starting running back, correct?
Dude, he's a team captain.
Yeah, was named
Damari
a
Alston,
team captain.
The starting running back. Well, him and Jeremiah Cobb split carries. But one of their primary backs who doesn't get enough touches already basically walked in last week. Their captain walked in last week, asked for a red shirt. They said, hell no, what are you talking about? And then gave him a couple of touches this weekend, and now he's kicked off the team.
Yep.
And it has not gone over well.
Yeah, there's players on social media backing the player, basically saying, this is a stupid decision. Why did we kick him off the team? This was the wrong decision. So when things like that start happening, that makes me say he needs to go, in my opinion.
You say yes. You say yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
I say hold. Whoa. But it keeps getting – if they keep finding ways to lose football games, got to go. But the refs, he's got the refs to blame on 2 of his losses. And so does the athletic director. So that's a buyout. That's a little insurance policy.
Yeah, but you've got the back half of this season, like Jay Will said. I don't think this Auburn team has the culture or the ability to rally around this and go, we're going to turn this around after this. We're not going to let this define us. This is a very much a roll over and die type situation for Auburn.
All right, let's role play right here. You're Dabo Swinney's agent.
Mm-hmm.
We fired Hugh Freeze at Auburn.
Ooh.
I pick up the phone and I call you. Does that go straight to voicemail, or do you pick that up?
You pick that up.
You think so? Or he's an Alabama grad. You can't pick that phone call up.
Pick the phone call up.
You can't leave Clemson for
Auburn.
Auburn.
The phone call up. You can use it as leverage otherwise.
I mean, I don't think he needs to be leveraging
What
Clemson
kind of leverage
right about
does
now.
he have?
He doesn't, but it's still.
He don't need to be leveraging Clemson right about now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. Bill Belichick, does he go? Yes or no?
Got to.
Got to.
Got to.
Hey, you know what I heard from somebody the other day? I believe knows somebody. I can't remember who told me this. Apparently, they're trying to figure out buyout clauses on the Sun too.
Oh.
Apparently, it was written in. You fire me, you got to buy this sucker out too.
Highway robbery.
Oof. That's 7 months stolen. I think the even crazier thing about that is they paid the GM like $2.5 million, Lombardi, and dedicated $13.5 million to that roster. Where? Where'd they spend that money?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't figure that one out. Yes or no, does he go? Luke Fickell at Wisconsin.
I feel like it's been a yes for a while, in my opinion. Like I'm almost doubting if it's ever going to happen.
They got mollywopped this weekend, brother.
Yeah, it's
you getting drugged by the Hawkeyes, you probably got to go.
Yeah,
that's tough.
It's been time.
Man, I was so high on that guy leaving Cincy. That sucks.
It's hard not to be.
Yeah. Another guy, I planted my flag on this mountain a long time ago, the Mark Stoopy Mountain. Mark Stoops, yes or no, does he go?
I think he just retires.
That's a take. You don't walk away from $45 million.
You make them fire you.
That's true.
He's got $9 million for 5?
I think so.
Yeah, you might just get you mutually decide to part ways.
You'd have to drag me out of that place.
True.
You'd have to plant evidence.
Mark Stoops at the end of the year, he just needs to walk into the office and he goes, I need $30 million for my roster or we're done, and it will just suck again. And then they can be like, oh, we can't do that. Well, I guess we're at a crossroads. We got to do something about that.
I've always said you can't fire that guy because what the hell you going to hire next?
That's what's going to be my question.
You're going to ultimately be a stepping stone program. You're going to hire one of these other young up-and-coming football coaches that's going to look at you and go, I can win 9 games there and go get one of these 10-year, $90 million contracts at a place I can win a national title. But I can't win one there. I mean, that's what football coaches will look at that job as.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's got to be catastrophically bad for me to be getting rid of Mark Stoops out there.
It's on its way to being catastrophically bad.
Yeah, they keep making bad quarterback decisions. Mm-hmm. Whoever's scouting in the portal for them ain't doing a very good job.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, number 52, their guard. He going to make a rack this offseason. He going to make a rack the moment they fire that joker, if they do. I don't think they should. Crazy to be on this list, in my opinion. Old Brent Brett out there at Oklahoma.
No, he's
You can't
fine.
be even
He's
talking
fine.
about this right now.
I don't understand this
I don't
at all.
either. I don't get this at all. Why people even include this one in the
It
conversation?
took one loss to Texas with your quarterback injured for everybody to be like, oh, well, Venables is done. This is exactly what we thought.
I do think it is the multiple 5-loss seasons the last couple of years, right? I think that's the basis of it. But yet, they were a top 5 football program with a healthy quarterback. I still can't believe people are out here thinking that he was healthy.
Wasn't even close.
No. Wasn't even close.
That's what we said all season. Like, you're a bad day from John Mateer away from having real trouble winning a football game. And you had 3 turnovers from John Mateer, and you lost a football
We put it
game.
on the list just to cook people talking about it.
I think it's stupid
I think
right
it's
now.
goofy and stupid. Yes or no, does he go? Jonathan Smith out there at Michigan State.
I don't even know how to read that program.
Yeah.
Is it time for that guy to go? I don't know. This is year 2?
Yeah.
Keep him around.
They're so far removed from the Mark D'Antonio age where it's like, what's the standards at Michigan State?
Right.
Wasn't he an 8-4, surprisingly 10-2 every once in a while guy?
No, he was pretty good.
Check the Football Reference on that.
I
thought he was a consistent 8-4, occasional 10-2 guy.
I remember
Didn't he
no.
spit an 11-1 and make a playoff that one time?
Yeah, but I mean, I remember them being pretty consistently a top 15 team.
Okay.
All right, so here I'll read it off from 2019 back. So 2019, 20.
Yeah.
7-6, 7-6, 10-3, 3-9, 12-2, 11-2, 13-1, 7-6, 11-3, 11-2, 6-7, 9-4, 7-6, 4-8.
So really a 7-6 football coach with the occasional 11-2.
Yeah, he had 3 really good seasons in a row,
Mm-hmm.
and then it
Wow.
went, and then it shot back up, and then shot back down.
What was that? It went what? Was that the Kirk Cousins seasons?
I don't know. No.
Kirk Cousins
no.
was like early 2000s, 2010s.
Yes or no, does he go Bill O'Brien? I should have said Bill O. Yes or no, does he go Bill O? Brian.
I'm going to say no. I think,
Here's the question: how much better does it get?
yeah, like,
Yeah, I said don't.
I'd say
Just
no.
don't. What are you going to do?
Yeah, hey, how much better does it get than Bill O'Brien?
I mean, is there like some 36-year-old alumnus that played at Boston College that's some brilliant defensive coordinator right now? Like, if you go, I feel so strongly about if you go hire young up-and-coming football coaches at programs like Boston College. I do not mean to demean that program. But if they didn't play there, they won't stay there. They just won't. So it's just the facts about that.
Yeah. What you gonna do? Make Matt Ryan the head coach? Like, what
Facts.
are we doing?
I mean, hey, if he's like other Falcons fans, if you fire the football coach like Roddy White, he'll tweet, "I want that job."
This is true.
I mean, Roddy, are you even coaching like the kids? Are you even coaching youth football? What you talking about, Roddy? Oh, crazy. I mean,
Shoot your shot.
Dude, I think I know ball. I think I could be a high school football coach. That's the line. That is the line. How do you have the hubris to be like, give me the job? I've never coached today in my life. Give me the job. Crazy. Shane Beamer, speaking of crazy, Shane Beamer of South Carolina, you do not fire this football coach.
You do not fire him.
You can't.
Only way he's gone is, again, if he takes a Virginia Tech job.
By the way, he just broke the old ball coach's record for most wins to 35, fastest to 35 wins in the history of South Carolina football. You cannot fire that guy.
I think
He's arguably your greatest football coach.
this discussion will have to take place in 2026. When you lose Lenora Sellers and you
Correct.
lose everything else, that's when you go, all right, is it time to fire Shane Beamer? Because this was the window of, hey, are they a playoff team? They're obviously not.
I think they just mutually agreed to wait until the next guy at Virginia Tech flames out.
Yeah, could be. I mean,
I won't take it now, but I'm gonna go retire where Daddy was at, where I grew up in like 3 years.
a tinfoil hat theory might suggest he pulls the cord on this already and goes, actually, I'll go over to Virginia Tech.
I mean, that would be a never fire that guy situation over there. I'm in a I'd play for that guy, don't fire him now type of situation. What was that? I was a skeptic.
I'm just like, yeah.
You don't think he's the right guy at South Carolina?
I don't think he's the wrong guy. I don't think he's the guy that everyone tries to make him out to be, where it's like he's going to get South Carolina to this, on the precipice of being a college football playoff team and having these discussions. Like, that's been talked about for 2 years throughout his coaching career, and he's failed to deliver twice.
How about Mike Locksley at Maryland? I'm absolutely not young quarterback.
No,
Keep him around.
You got the
Yeah,
best freshman quarterback in the country.
All right, boys. A lot of great football this weekend played in college football week 7. Let's start with the Sig Man. Indiana goes out there and gets their first signature win, I don't know, since the 40s. They were 1-42 or something like that against top 10 opponents. And now they're 2-42. So shout out to the Sig Man. We talked about this and kind of got in a little discussion before the show. I didn't feel as if once it was 10-3, the rest of that football game was, oh, you answered, Oregon? Smack. I answered again. I countered. Oh, you answered? Smack. I countered again. The rest of the 3 quarters of that football game.
Yeah, I said it felt very much to me like 2 top 10 teams going back and forth. And in the last 5 minutes of the game, one of the team's quarterbacks unraveled. Dante Moore throwing 2 picks in the last 2 drives is not great. One of them was tipped, but I felt like, and Indiana did hold serve the majority of that game, but it felt like a very much back and forth game.
I felt like that was the first time I'd seen Dante Moore not trust what he was seeing.
Yeah.
That's the first time, ever. Like, at UCLA didn't even have a chance. He was just getting blown up every time. But that's the first time I've seen him at Oregon not really know or feel good about what the picture was he was looking at. And that's tough to do to that offense. It's pretty well ran.
Yeah, I mean, the most impressive thing to me about this Indiana-Oregon game is that Indiana won this game in a fashion that I wasn't sure if they could. Like, I assumed that if Indiana was going to pull off this upset, the final score of this game was going to be like 47-43 or 47-44, like just an absolute shootout. But I mean, we talked about this Oregon offense as this is the best in the country. This is the most explosive in the country. Like, this is a really hard team to stop. And Indiana's defense answered at times, and then the offense played complementary. They had explosive plays, and they just kind of, like you said, paced themselves to a win in this game.
Guys,
Side note.
they outrushed them, they out-explosived them, and they out-defensed that football team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge win, convincing win.
I mean, they're the second-best team in the Big Ten. They're a top-5 football program in college football right now. That's a tremendous job by Cignetti.
Side note, it feels so good to hear Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson call a
a good
game
game.
that feels like it matters,
Yeah.
that feels like it's consequential. It's not Purdue versus USC. So that was nice.
Damn.
That was not
The
a good.
Purdue choo-choo's taking a shot.
That was not
That's
a good.
crazy.
Sorry, Purdue fans, come
you
at
just
me.
sideswiped the choo-choos.
Come at me, Purdue fans. Like, how many do you think we got in the chat right now?
If we got one, I'll do a cartwheel right now.
I think someone's just
Someone's going to troll.
Someone's just going to admit to
That's
be.
an open for a troll. You got to show receipts on the choo-choo them. Hey, people sleeping on Indiana. Sleeping on Indiana.
Can't do that.
Knocked out. Sleeper. Sleeping. Sleeper. Shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. All right, I want to take a quick moment. Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Sleeper has become the fastest organically growing fantasy platform in the world. While entertaining some of the highest levels of engagement per user in the industry, hey, head over there today. All right, use promo code Brooks, and you'll get up to $100 deposit match on your first deposit. Again, $100 promo code Brooks over there, deposit match. Offered in currently 25 states and hopefully more soon. Check out Sleeper today over there. Again, promo code Brooks. Still running that free $20 giveaway if you head over there. So not only first-time users getting $100 deposit match. Y'all say something? $100 deposit match over there on Sleeper, but also that free 20 over there with those guys. Make sure you're supporting those who support us today. Promo code Brooks.
It's an interesting water bottle you have there.
That looks like some tasty water.
H2O.com. Where are we going next, boys? Oh, hey, how about this Alabama-Missouri game? Hey, this Alabama football team, boys, the last 3 games, just anaconda squeezing Georgia for a half, in first half. They didn't do a good job closing that one out. Anaconda squeezing in the second half against Vandy. Anaconda squeezing right now against Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this animal did a little fighting as you were trying to swallow its corpse, but squeezing folks in time of possession and in general chain moving in these football games is Alabama.
You know, and I got to give credit to Alabama because after that first Missouri drive, I was thinking, okay, we're getting the Alabama stinker. They look slow. They look sluggish on defense. They didn't look like they had the fire. Turned it all around and pretty much dominated for the rest of the game or had a close enough lead or a substantial enough lead to where they could cruise. Yeah, Missouri backdoored it in, but Alabama was in control of that game for 90% of that matchup.
I mean, it's the same notes about this offense. There's just no answer at times. Too many times is there no answer for, well, what did we do wrong on defense? Well, we didn't do anything wrong. The quarterback just made the right play at the right time, like the exact right time. And there's just no answer for that. And that's why they are such a fearful offense and a fearful team at the moment, because that's what you sit there and say watching this game of, well, Ty Simpson just made a great throw. Like I think it was on 4th down in the second half, 4th and 8, and he throws the throw of his life down the boundary, just in the perfect spot. They convert the first down, and it didn't ice the game, but it iced the game.
The 4th and 1 where he just flips a ball out to Jam Miller in the flat or whoever the back is. The final touchdown's a 4th and goal.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely gutting them on 4th down. Before I get to my film notes, what were you guys' thoughts on the onside kick decision from Drink?
I didn't
You
love
got
it.
3 timeouts, 90 seconds left in the game. Defense playing good all day, causing it, at least making it hard on Simpson. It's not like they shredded him. What were your thoughts, Kirby?
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I mean, you understand that situation, like, hey, we need a chance to get the ball back. And even if we don't, we're still giving our defense an opportunity to get it back for us. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where if you recover it, it's one of the best decisions in coaching ever, but you didn't, and so you're going to get criticized for it. I didn't hate it, though.
I don't know what everybody else sees in Bo Pribula. But to me, I still see a very young, inexperienced football player that's immensely talented. He's a great athlete, but that's a very frantic young man. In
Yeah, he did not look very poised on Saturday. And even in that last drive where you've got, the receivers like saying, I'm open, and kind of freaking out. I know that went kind of viral, but throughout the game, he seemed a little bit squeamish.
Got a few notes for you on Alabama's offense. We got a film study coming out tomorrow on this one. They were absolutely chewing clock. And against Vandy and against Georgia, it was with Ty Simpson's arm on third down. This was running the rock. They were running downhill at these boys, too. They weren't chunking them with counter. They lined up and ran duo at Missouri's face in the second half. And that's what was converting chains. They were living in 2nd and 2. They were living in 2nd and 3. They were getting downhill, running at the teeth of that Missouri defense. And I thought that's what ultimately won the game. And, of course, Ty Simpson's play on 4th down. And you're going to notice, I think the theme of tomorrow's film study is going to be the difference between winning on first play and winning the second play. When you play a quarterback that has any ability to get loose or any ability to escape the pocket, like whether it be vertically or getting around it because they're a good enough athlete, you've won the first play, meaning you've pushed them, you've rushed them enough to get them off of the spot. But now it becomes a scramble drill, and it's a whole new play. And I thought Alabama absolutely obliterated Missouri in the second half on the second play. Because the first half, they won the first play, and it was it. They got him down. They got him on the ground. First play of the second half, they strip-sacked the guy. They're getting home. But as the game progressed, as the offensive line found ways to just at least push the guy past the spot or maybe get away with holds. There's one Cade Proctor hold that I thought Eli Drinkwitz might have tackled the white hat in the middle of the play. I mean, he's irate. But anyways, they did such a good job of rushing him off the spot, but couldn't get home to the point where getting him on the ground, and he was shredding them outside the pocket. I thought that was the difference in that football game going late. I'm going to skim through the defensive film copy soon to see what they did to stop that running game from Missouri and to see what they did to create so many problems from Pribula. I would imagine it's disguised coverage. I would imagine it's remaining and relying on zone coverages. Kane Womack, to me, watching them on TV, he's clearly learned his lesson. Okay, very much so learned his lesson. That's a good thing for a football coach that needed to grow quickly, all right, as the seat was getting a little hotter, at least in my opinion, based off the defensive performances in their losses. But he's doing a very much better job at that. But TV copy told me what they did was every time the ball was on a hash, they put LT Overton to the field and said, you ain't stretching nothing today. 22's getting upfield, setting the edge hard.
Yeah, and I also felt like, and this could just be me, box score scouting, but they didn't give the ball to Ahmad Hardy enough, in my opinion. Like, we got to the midway through the third quarter, and it felt like he had less than 12 carries.
Couple things. Second half, they're down 10, right? Most of the football game, they're down 10. The other thing is, it's hard to continue to be disciplined when the run when you're down 10 and it becomes inefficient. It's really, really hard to give him the ball again when it's 2nd and 9.
Yep.
It's hard. It's especially as a play caller when you don't feel like you're chunking them up, when you don't feel like you're having successful runs. They got to one big explosive in the run game, and it was the backup. I'm with you. Probably could have gave him the rock a little bit more, but when the game starts getting turned around like that, and not only that, you as a play caller get pressurized because the other team's holding the ball so long. Like you feel like in the second half when you only have it for 10 minutes, you feel like you got to go now. We got to get back in this football game now, and that's why in the second half you can't give him totes.
Yep.
So I get that criticism. I'm with you. But, man, it's hard. It's really, really hard in that moment to continue to feed the run. What were your thoughts on Ohio State just kind of taking Illinois for a little walk?
Man, this was Ohio State gets their first touchdown of the game. And it's the equivalent of when you're on a 6-hour ride to the beach and hit that road, it's like 85 miles to go.
Yeah.
You put that sucker in cruise control and you just cruise until you get to your destination.
And
that's what this was.
And you can just turn the GPS off for a minute. Yeah, you know where you're going. You can save the battery life on your phone.
Turn the brain off a little bit.
Yeah, just cruise out. Just black out for a little bit.
That's exactly what this
Hold
game
it at
was.
10 and 2. Keep it between the whites and let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's basically what they do in these football games. That defense. I keep talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to get – that was the best offense on paper they're going to play all year.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
They are this year's Oregon in the regular season.
I mean, dude, I think they're just the best team in college football right now.
Most complete.
That's what we said about Oregon last year.
Yeah, they did go undefeated in the regular season.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. It's basically like we know what this team is going to be all the way up until the college football playoff. Stamp it, mark it. It's going to take a catastrophic, surprising failure for it to be like, oh my God, this is bad.
But to be fair, in the middle of that Ohio or Oregon run last year, the whole entire time, I don't know about you, but the whole entire narrative was, well, he still got to go do it. Ryan Day's done it. They literally just got done doing it.
No, yeah, but that's why I'm saying
So it feels totally different.
We're going to
than
go.
what I felt about Oregon last year.
I'm saying they are Oregon in the fact that we're going to go through the majority of this season and say, oh, well, they're the number one team. They're the best in the country. And end point, that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say that, they'll lose in the first round of the playoff or there's any pressure externally for the title. From the regular season, from here on out, we're probably going to look at Ohio State and go, that's the best team. That's the number one spot.
The bigger thing about them is that we're going to go the entire season. They're going to look great, but we're also going to feel like we just don't truly know. We don't know going into the playoff if we truly know enough about this team. At least that's my opinion.
Well, all I know is they're going to have to score like 24 points in a playoff game to win. Because the defense is that good.
But if Illinois is the best test you've got, do you know?
I guess you can be skeptical of it, which I guess college football as of right now is telling us to be skeptical as much as possible.
And I think they're
that
great.
Wins. Being
I'm not
skeptical
taking a
wins
shot
right now in the prediction game, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I think the defense is great. I'm not taking a shot at them, but just from a holistic perspective, I'm just not going to sit here and say like I know for sure just yet. But I think they're good. I think they're certainly the front runner for national title conversations right now.
Big time hold the haters' feet to the fire tonight. So our show tonight. Hey, Kirby, A&M playoff team. You're still a hater. Do you believe or not believe?
Yeah, no, A&M's one of those teams where you got to prove me wrong.
I feel like they keep proving you wrong.
We're halfway through the season.
We're 60% of the way through the season. We're halfway through.
We're halfway through the season.
Exactly halfway through the season. But here's the deal, Kirby. Their remaining schedule, and skeptical Kirby going to continue to be skeptical Kirby despite the fact that this is a top 5 football team that's beaten really, really good football teams, better than the ones on their schedule remaining already at this point in the season. At Arkansas, win or loss, Kirby?
They'll win that game.
All right, at LSU.
But also, that's one of those weird games where anything happens in a neutral site.
Yeah, it's college football. I'm with you on that. I'm not doubting that statement. At LSU, Kirby, win or loss?
Yeah, I'm not trusting that. I'm not trusting that LSU.
That offense from LSU ain't scored 17 points in that football game. At Missouri, I marked it down as an L.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. South Carolina, at home.
I'll put that as a win.
You just made them a playoff team.
You can do this whole exercise you want and go through it. Yeah, they're a playoff team on paper.
You think they might go 2-3 over that stretch?
Top 10 A&M walks into an Auburn team last year that is struggling.
Correct.
Win or loss on paper.
I mean, they lost.
That's a win, and they lost the football game. That's
my
point.
I think they're a much better football team.
Let's provide perspective of that. That's late in the season, and what we talked about with A&M all of last year is that they had to makeshift an offense for Marcel Reed late in the year to make that push. You're not makeshifting an offense right now. This is an offense for Marcel Reed, and the defense is playing well.
Yeah, look, there's definitely indicators that this is a much different A&M team than ones we've seen in the past. But again, until they prove me wrong, I'm going to stand 10 tones down on I don't believe in you until you prove me wrong.
Roger Mills says, I'm behind, but Purdue class of 2008 right here. I need most recent ticket stub, and I need a photo of the diploma, or I don't believe it.
That's fair. Shout out though, because I guess there are Purdue fans.
Shout out, Purdue choo-choos. How we feel about that, Roger? Probably not great. Hey, Texas dominates Oklahoma.
Yeah. I mean, the start to this game was exactly how I thought it was going to go.
Really?
Both defenses, both
defenses
were gutting it out,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing everything they can to keep it a close game, and it was. But I mean, the biggest concern going into this game, and what continued to grow as an even bigger concern as this game progressed, was John Mateer is not John Mateer right now. And I don't want to make it sound like that's an excuse from Oklahoma, because it's not. You chose to play that guy. You felt like that was your best option in this game, and you fell on the sword. Like that's what it is about this game. But John Mateer was not 100%. I mean, every single time he made a throw, he got tackled. He's looking down at his hand. He's rubbing it on the towel. Like, clearly was not himself. But Texas's defense Texas as a whole took advantage of a massive opportunity that was in front of them. We have a banged up John Mateer. We need to get back into the win column. We got to stay in the college football playoff picture. You got to win. You took advantage of your opportunity, so good on them.
I think it's also getting overlooked how efficient Texas's offense was in this game. Obviously, it wasn't explosive. It wasn't anything to write home about. I think they scored 16 points total. Like, there wasn't like, oh, wow, holy crap, what a great performance from Texas's offense. But they were 10 of 17 on third down. They did all the things they needed to do to keep Texas's or Oklahoma's offense off the field, and that is what ultimately won them the game. The punt return for a touchdown was the nail in the coffin for that. Yeah. But Arch Manning played winning football. He didn't play like the disappointment that everyone wanted to label him as, or the Heisman winner that everyone wanted him to be in preseason. He played winning football, and that ultimately got them the win.
We broke it down, obviously, on the channel on Sunday night. I thought they did such a good job as a staff of doing exactly what they failed to do at Florida, which was condense the concepts. Like their average depth of route against Florida did not coincide with the fact that they could not protect. And that's bad. That's coaching. I'm not saying coaching malpractices, but that's setting your players up for failure. When we're in the situation where we're 7-man pass pro and we can't protect in 7-man pass pro, and we're still running depth of route targets that are 12 to 30 yards down the field, that's a recipe for disaster, particularly on the road. I thought they did such a good job of doing like 5-man pass protections. Boom, we're going to check the back out into the flat. Or 5-man pass protections, 6-man pass protections, boom, we're going to slip the tight end right behind the linebacker that's adding in. Like, that type of stuff kept them, what Kirby's talking about, efficient the entire football game, and it showed up on the film study. They had a major problem at left guard in that Florida football game. I'm not going to say they solved it, but they plugged a 6'8", 355-pound freshman in Nick Brooks that was a top 100 football player coming out of high school, and guess what? He efforts. He at least plays hard. And when that happens, when you're that big, when you're that gifted, you're going to win. Like, we see this so many times on our network with young football players who are immensely talented. Just throw them out there, tell them to play hard, and eventually they'll figure stuff out. I feel like that he won with effort a lot of the time. When he got beat, but he got beat slowly instead of getting beat like really quickly now, like their left guards did against Florida. I already mentioned they shortened the concepts, but the real, Arch played efficient, played turnover free. You already hit on that stuff. The real difference in this football game and what won the game was there was a singular player on either of these offenses, not named the quarterback, that had an impact on the football game, and it was Wisner, the back, all right, from Texas. He won the football game. He moved the chains. He created all the chunks in this offense apart from Arch Manning's legs and a punt return. That was the difference. They had one impactful offensive player on all 22 of them, and it was a guy from Texas. That's why they won.
Yeah, and I think that John Mateer being injured in this game only heightened or like really highlighted the issues with this Oklahoma offense of there's nothing else for you to rely on right now. It is John Mateer. He's the only answer that you have, and him distributing the football or him running the ball because you have no run game outside of him. You just can't manufacture it. You can't get anything going, and that really showed up in this game.
Yeah, and like I said, we said it earlier, like you are one bad John Mateer day from losing a football game because he was the entire production of your offense. And unfortunately, John Mateer had a bad game due to injury, but still, it was not a good game, not a good showing from John Mateer, and you lost that football game. Your offense got stifled pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's our next football game? Hey, how about USC beating Michigan exactly like I told you they would last week? It's just too explosive versus a team that's not. That was my main takeaway going into it.
Gashing them in the second half on the ground.
I got to go see it, and I got to go see how. But yeah, USC rushed the football for 6.5 yards a carry.
Oof. Yeah, the weird thing was, it was a pretty strong back and forth matchup until the second half. And whatever happened, I don't know if they were seeing some lanes that were being fit or certain fits that Michigan was doing, but they just started gashing them on the run game.
USC's the fourth best team in the Big Ten. We went into the week wondering who it was going to be, who was going to occupy this vacancy of Penn State and all these teams not living up to expectations. To me, it is USC. I got Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Oregon 3, USC 4. And I would like an argument for who might be in that discussion.
That's what I was going to ask. Who the heck are you going to argue for?
I don't have an argument for that.
For a conference that prides themselves on depth of 18 members, they got 4 good football teams. Really, really, really good football teams. Their top 4 is as good as any top 4 in college football. Top 3 especially.
They've got
top 3 especially. Really good, playing really good football. Like, we're getting to the Nebraska level of this discussion when we talk about who is that other team. Michigan, who just got beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, it's tough.
Yeah, I would say there's 3 really, really good teams.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one is like, you might make it in just because.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only other team you could really make an argument for right now is Nebraska.
Yeah.
And that's even stretching it.
Stay in the. Let's move on to the SEC. One of them annual 17-night games that LSU gets.
They got another one coming up.
Oh, I know they always
What
do.
in the
If it's a home game, it's at night out there at Baton Rouge. It's just facts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Well, I guess it's because it's a great atmosphere. But other than that,
Well, the fans didn't show up, so it must not be that great.
Yeah, Jay
you
will
see
show.
this?
Jay will show me this. Like they had the top. Sorry, I'll let you say.
you're
it
lying.
first.
Fourth quarter, one-score game against South Carolina. This is Chris Marler posts this picture from the game. It's empty. I mean, there's fans, but it's very spotty. Like there are sections
Shut up.
Dead serious. Go look it up. You can find it on the internet. That they did not fill that stadium out for an SEC game, a night game, a one-score game in the fourth quarter. That stadium was not packed out. So yeah, it's a great atmosphere in Death Valley.
That's an operations problem.
I don't know, but
That has to be.
that was very weird
You're
to
not
me.
doing the right things as an athletic administration to get people in that building. You're not doing the right things as a football coach to get people in the building. I'm looking this up right now. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's insane.
Huh.
But couple of things here. One, South Carolina's offense is just bad. Lenore Sellers probably had his worst rushing day of his career. I think it was 19 rushes for 17 yards. Now, he got sacked 5 times, hence why the offensive line coach has been let go since this game. But on the flip
Holy
side,
hell.
told you, dude, it's bad. On the flip side, LSU's offense, just they're not moving the needle either. And it's unfortunate because LSU finally did what we have been asking them to do over the past few years under Brian Kelly. They got a defense. They got a defense that is making stops consistently. They got a defense that is holding teams consistently, and the offense just isn't there to execute and respond to that. So they pick up another win in the conference, but it just feels like LSU found a way again, but nobody's really taking them seriously, I don't feel like, and they shouldn't be.
No, I mean this offense is bad. It's not good.
I went on a hellified rant on Sunday. One of these days when I'm like 75, I'm going to pass out giving that take.
I think you about passed out in the car when we watched it on SEC Recap. That was like one of my favorite moments of the car ride home.
Yeah, you get it raw.
Sir,
Whoa.
excuse me?
You get the reactions raw. All right, when we're talking about them things in the rides, on the ride home.
Yeah.
I was pretty livid.
Oh, yeah. It was quite an experience.
They haven't scored more than 25 points against a Power 4 opponent this year.
I tweeted it today. If you like, everybody thinks I'm FOS when I say I'm a fan of good football. Watch how angry I get when bad football happens.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch how angry I get when bad football happens, and you'll know that I'm telling the truth. I am a fan of good football, and I hate bad football. And that's bad football. Chat wants to know what is this going on? What's this Charger case? This is my friends over at Ridge. Do you know about Ridge, Kirby?
I do know about Ridge.
Hey, this thing was money on Saturday, Jonathan.
Yeah, it was.
We left the house at 7 o'clock on Saturday. I didn't charge my phone once. You know why? Because my friends at Ridge. If you head over to Ridge right now, use promo code Brooks10, you'll get 10% off on one of these premier charging cases. They are absolute money. I'm going to tell you right now, they will not only recharge your phone, but it might do it twice if you're unlike me and you constantly have your phone in your hand. I'm a 9 to 10 hour a day phone user guy. All right, it's bad. But with my friends at Ridge, I don't have to worry about my phone dying. It's absolute money, Kirby.
You know what else is money?
What's that?
This wallet right here.
That would hold your money.
Hold your money. It's got a clip on the back for it.
Man,
Also
that's
hold your
sleek.
cards.
Yeah, it's not bulky in your pocket.
No, I mean,
you
you
could
can put
sit
it-
on it and you wouldn't even know it's there.
Wouldn't even know. It's not uncomfortable.
That's a real thing, though. You know,
No.
you have a wallet and you got it in your back pocket, and when you go to sit down, you feel like you're
Ridge.com/Brooks10. Get 10% off with our friends over there at Ridge.
That's big.
Man, you nailed that. You nailed that like a split hog.
Thanks, man.
We talk about Ohio State already?
We did. I think
We're on
we're
to
done
previews.
with.
We're done.
I think
Let's
we're
get
done
into
with
previews.
reactions.
Week 8 previews. Some good football games. Let's be close. Let's be tight right here. Missouri at Auburn. First and foremost, these are 2 football teams that are leaving football games this weekend, telling themselves as fan bases, we should have won that football game.
Oh, yeah.
We should have won that football game.
Yes, you
Having
are.
their absolute hearts ripped out by Alabama and Georgia, respectively. Guys, I think Auburn's going to have real problems with Zion Young and Damon Wilson, as is everybody else.
Yep.
I think these 2 edge rushers from Missouri, and you're going to see it on film tomorrow, they're not only massive human beings, they have elite twitch off the line of scrimmage. Both of these guys are 6'5 plus. Both of these guys are 335 pounds plus. They're long as can be. They both get off the rock. There are multiple snaps in that football game where it's clear they have no answer for them. It got to a point where Alabama's chipping both of them. And when we're chipping both of them, that tells you how good they are. You know what I mean? It's going to be like that in this football game, you would imagine, for an Auburn football team that has struggled drastically to protect their quarterbacks, home and away, now that we know it wasn't just because the left tackle's hearing impaired. I think they have, obviously, those two dynamic rushers. My biggest question mark going into this football game, I think Missouri is the better football team. They're playing good football right now. There's no doubt. But we talked about it earlier. I do not trust Bo Pribula to play clean football in that environment at night against that defense. I just can't. I can't go into it feeling good. They're going to have to run their way to a win, protect the quarterback.
It's also hard. This is a hard game to read, though, because you don't know how Auburn is going to respond after 3 straight just absolute heartbreakers in conference
How
play.
many times can you coach for your life?
Exactly. And how many times can your players show up for you fighting for your life, especially what happened this week for you. But on the flip side, Missouri, like this, again, like we talked about last week, it was the first big test for Missouri. You got Alabama at home. Now you got to go on the road at night to Jordan-Hare. It's another big test for you that we just haven't seen you make. So I just don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I think I'm going to flip back and forth constantly with this game this week.
Yeah, my thing on this is Missouri is a team that still has everything to play for. Yeah, you had a disappointing loss against Alabama. Yeah, things didn't go your way. You feel like you could have won the game. It was very disheartening. But you still have to dust yourself off and get moving forward on this season. And you have the coach and the culture to do it, I believe so. Auburn isn't really playing for anything right now.
Go ahead.
There's nothing left for Auburn to do and come out and say, hey, we lost to a really, really big rival for us. Let's go out and beat a Missouri team that, let's be honest, there isn't much incentive for us to hate. Like, Auburn fans don't hate Missouri the way they hate Georgia. I don't see Auburn getting up for this game. I do see it being a defensive slugfest, but with the way that Missouri's offense is played and with Ahmad Hardy, I'm going to trust them to win this game.
USC at Notre Dame. Big-time football game. 2 ranked football teams. Guys, I got some CJ Carr film notes that I want to get after you guys preview this football game. What do you got in this one between the Irish and Trojans?
Well, if Notre Dame wins, it's official. Like, we just go ahead and mark it in. They're a playoff team again.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They got a ranked opponent this weekend.
You sound like you don't like that.
I have no biases
Hater.
whatsoever. I don't hate it. Look, Notre Dame has certainly improved. Week in and week out, they have become a better and better football team. I'll give them that credit.
Under Marcus Freeman, to be honest.
It is. They continue to peak at the right moments, and so I think going into this week, they're peaking at the right moment. USC feels like they're kind of peaking right now, but I'd give Notre Dame the edge right now.
Hey, you can't trust Lincoln Riley to stay peaking.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, this guy's all one of these. He stays doing one of those every once in a while. You got to watch out.
I don't think Notre Dame's going to be as gashable as they were.
Yeah, it's not Link versus Wink this week.
No, I think that Notre Dame certainly has the advantage as we go into this game, but it's going to be interesting to see what USC and Lincoln Riley's offense can do and just showcase how much more physical they are than teams of the past.
We released a CJ Carr film study about 5 o'clock this afternoon. It's a late publish for us with regards to film study. We normally get those out midday. Guys, that thing's already over 2,500 views. Them Notre Dame Fighting Irish fans, they show up for that ball knowledge.
yeah.
There ain't no doubt
Shout
about
out to
that. Shout out to Shane Gillis, friend of the show. Might be listening right now. If he is, I got some good news. You got a dude, man. You got a dude at the quarterback position, and it's an important thing to have, obviously, in the sport of college football, the sport of football, period. So many big-time throws on his tape. And I want to get ahead of this. I was waiting, not hating. I tweeted this out today. Everybody wondering, why were you so late to this bandwagon? I'm trying to learn my lessons around here. I think I was a little too early on Bryce Underwood. I think I was a little too early on Arch Manning. I wanted to wait on this one. And by the way, as I said in the film study, I think your head football coach wanted to as well. You're a totally different offense. Your coordinator wanted to as well. You're a totally different offense, a much more aggressive downfield hunting offense now than you were a month and a half ago when you lost to Miami on the road. Your very first words out of your football coach's mouth before kickoff at your first game of the season was, we got to get our quarterback free access throws. That's him telling you we don't necessarily know just yet. All right, now they know. And it's very clear that they know they're calling offensive plays like they know. That's my other note on here. Denbrock's doing a great job. Did a great job at LSU, left LSU to take this Notre Dame job, and he is calling big-time plays. I love how he hunts in opening possessions based off what he has realized the film studies tell him that the defenses do. If we line up this way, they're going to play this. They're vulnerable to this. You know what I'm saying? And we're hunting those off rip, not waiting to get to them. CJ's doing a great job executing early on in football games for them. The other thing about this, they got real weapons, like real weapons at Notre Dame. And we kind of hinted on this, thought this might be the case going into the season. The Malachi Fields guy, a real dude at Virginia, a 1,000-yarder at Virginia, I believe. Maybe a multiple 900-yarder guy out there at Virginia coming in to Notre Dame, providing a true X in this offense. And it makes them much more hard or much more difficult to defend. Obviously, everybody knows about their run game. You have to dedicate bodies to the box. It leaves one-on-one opportunities. They're winning a lot of those right now. It's why they're so explosive through the air. He does have the occasional miss. All right, he does, as most young football players do. And I think he's doing a tremendous job right now.
Most quarterbacks
do right now in college football. But I think he does a really, really good job 6-7 games into his career collecting a ton of information. This guy picks up a lot at the line of scrimmage, identifies pressures really, really well, gets them into the right looks 95% of the time, and either just doing a great job as a young football player. Honestly, I wrote a lot of the same notes with regards to protections, playing on time, understanding what the defense is doing to you pre-snap that I do with Ty Simpson. I think this guy's more talented with his arm right now. I think Simpson's a better pocket manager, more nuanced as a football player, more big time right now in critical downs against great defenses. But this kid is elite. His mechanics are clean too. You know how many times we talk about young quarterbacks having their back foot come up or their body lean bad? This kid doesn't. This kid's really, really clean. Noticeable twitch on the athlete too. But I hate the pedal drop. Hate the pedal drop.
I mean, I understand it. It's definitely because when you're reading left, it provides you the opportunity to – it kind of forces you to work outside in like most offenses want you to nowadays. But
I think both these offenses eat it up in this football game. I'm expecting points. Preview, take the over.
It's going to be a fun one to watch.
How about the Holy War? As the Utah Utes head up to BYU, the battle for Utah. What you think about the Holy War there, Jay Will?
I mean, it feels like I say it every single week, but
what you say?
This is another game for the Big 12 of who's competing with Texas Tech. Like,
facts.
Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the team that steps up and is like, we'll be the team. We want to be second place. Still waiting on someone to claim that spot. This will be a big game for that.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree with everything you just said. I think that watching Utah last week just dismantle Arizona. Now, the Jeff Sims experience was not a fun one for them.
I never raced to a betting line so fast in my life.
Yeah.
When I found out Jeff Sims was a quarterback.
But no,
Sorry, Jeff.
Watching Utah last week was very impressive. I'd like to see how BYU can counter that.
Guess what Saturday is?
It's the third Saturday?
Saturday is the third Saturday in October, which means the Tennessee Volunteers are headed down to Tuscaloosa to take on the Tide. Boys, it's a night game in Bryant-Denny Stadium, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Jonathan, you were first to it. You've been a lot to take first take, or you've been a first to a lot of takes this season so far. Your Clark Lee take gonna hit like crack when that dude gets hired at Penn State. The Shea Beaver to Vitek take, we might have to dust it off in 2 years, but woo, that sucker gonna hit. I love your take about the Tennessee defense as well. You were first to it. Tennessee defense, very, very suspect. I'm going to tell you right now, do not love the matchup between a man who plays way too much man-to-man defense in Tim Banks versus this unit from Alabama. Pressure and man-to-man, that's a death sentence against Ty Simpson and this wide receiver core.
I would be absolutely petrified as a Tennessee fan right now heading into this game because you've been able to win some shootouts against Mississippi State and against Arkansas. If it turns into a shootout against Alabama, I don't know if that one's in your favor, in my opinion. I think that this Alabama offense has been too consistent, or at least their quarterback has. Their quarterback is more consistent than yours. Not that Joey isn't playing good ball right now, but Ty Simpson is about as consistent as you could ask for a quarterback at the moment. So this is at Alabama. It's a night game. I would be very, very nervous about this one.
Now, hey, we did say that, Kane Womack learned his lesson as far as, consistently living in man coverage goes. Maybe Tim Banks has learned his. Maybe Arkansas gave you enough of a scare and Georgia beating you in overtime is enough to say, hey, we might need to throw some different things at quarterbacks. Maybe you see it this weekend. It might be a close game.
All of my Tennessee fans and sources tell me that that's just what they do, that they play worse zone defense than they do man-to-man defense.
Well,
which is crazy to me.
That's problematic.
I thought Drink was very, very forthcoming with the fact that he thought Ty Simpson shredded cover 2, and they weren't going to be doing any of that. He said it in his press conference. He says, very clear this guy's very comfortable tearing apart cover 2. You know what they did all game? based off what I watched in the second half, they played cover 3, rolled somebody into the box, and got after his butt for 4 quarters. If you're willing to do that, if you're willing to be that aggressive, then okay, it was successful for Missouri for the most part. My biggest question going to this game, can Tennessee score enough?
Yeah.
I think that's everyone's question. And offensively, you have to sustain drives. We talked about it. The last 3 football games, Alabama has spent a half holding the ball.
Pretty much.
And it's because opposing offenses have sputtered, and then they can't get off the field on third down.
And well, that's what I was going to get at just now is you can't do what you did against Georgia. Obviously, you lose the game, but you can't have what happened in that game if you're a Tennessee fan of from the second and third quarter, your offense really struggled to get anything going, and that's what allowed Georgia to get back into the game. You can't do that against this Alabama offense where if you're sputtering on offense, they're going to be putting up points probably. So you can't have that happen where in the middle of this game it just slows down.
Before we hit Super Chubs, before we go to the local hour, somebody in the chat said, Brooks, remember UGA butters your bread. First of all, I'm a 2-loaf guy. I'm a 2-slice guy. Ain't no way when I'm eating carbs, I'm not going to have 2 slices of bread. And here's the deal. Georgia does butter my bread, which is why we've done an hour of Georgia film study. We'll do another hour tomorrow and watch the defense. We have an entire Patreon and Discord service dedicated to it. We write what? 16 articles a day on Georgia football. All right. I tweet all day Saturday and at every Georgia football game that there is. We know the dogs pay them bills. That's why we love the dogs. We love on them dogs for an entire, 9 hours a week. All right, we got plenty of dog coverage. We think we do this well enough for everybody to get loved on. All right, that's why we do it. All right, let's talk to some of these Super Chubs. Random Ruffian. I don't like that name. Be careful. Love the channel. Best ball knowers I've found. Need to see our boy Mensa back in your top 10 after he beats Georgia Tech this week. Also, any chance of a hoodie version of the Certified Ball Knower shirt in the future? We'll talk to the merch store about that. I can get that done for you guys. Link to the merch in the description of this video. Shout out to my man Random Ruff, was what we'll call him. My man Random Ruff. Yeah, I mean, Mensa, I draft him probably, I'd go Simpson, Moore, Mensa right now. Mendoza, and then maybe Mendoza before that. And then after that, figure it out. So it's just the way I do my rankings, and I should say this, the way I do them is if I got to take you and your current offense and go score 50 and win a football game tomorrow. You know what I mean? Against good competition, not the Big 12, big mother chucker. Kirby, sorry your Auburn Tigers lost. I know you're a big fan. Here's some money to ease the pain.
Very funny.
Christian Kirby, the charity case. The charity case Auburn fan. Flying Hawaiian says, popular opinion, Brooks needs to bring the mullet back. I never had one.
I think the mullet's been brought back.
Yeah, I think people are doing the mullet well enough. I don't think I need to step on those. Flying Hawaiian says, again, what's killing Venables is that defensive head coaches aren't sexy outside of the SEC at historically Big 12 programs with multiple offensive Heismans. I think he's saying that fan base is a little perturbed because they expect high-flying offense, and all they got is rock fight defense wins. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that to be true. You just paid, $2 million for Ben Arbuckle? Yeah. Or $800,000 for Ben Arbuckle and $1.5 for his quarterback. Mm-hmm. So you're trying. And I think you're, when healthy, I think you're one of the best 15 football programs in the country. So that's good with me. Hey, we got a whole nother hour coming up next, and it is our best hour. It is our local hour. We finna talk that dog.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? Really like that. You really like that? Let's shut up and grab some tape.
I went into this schedule and looked at it saying you have program record win streaks against Georgia Tech, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee. There's a lot of them this year. I don't see an avenue where you make it out of this season with this schedule continuing all of those records. So if I had to pick one, I would say it's probably going to be Auburn against a Hugh Freeze team that has shown you that they can give you everything you want to handle in this environment in a very difficult stadium. So I am picking Auburn to win this game. I'm an Auburn fan. Brock Bowers is not on your team this year. I'm an Auburn fan. If in, May of 2023, I'd sat there and you're like, you think Peyton Thorne's going to have a 60-yard run against that defense? I'm an Auburn fan.
Kirby, thinks Georgia's terrible. Dang.
Vegas knows something, and I feel like if there's going to be a game where the streak ends, it's this one. I'm an Auburn fan. You can do all these things, but look, I would be doing a disservice to you, the viewer, if I was not completely and fully honest with you. And I feel like Auburn wins this game 27-21. I'm an Auburn fan.
First off, I'd like to know where Christian Kirby is right now.
I'm an Auburn fan.
Hey.
Well done, Jonathan.
Appreciate it.
Well done, Jonathan. Make him eat that crow.
Hey, it's part of the job. You come out and you say things that you think will happen. Sometimes you're wrong. Almost all the time you're guaranteed to be wrong at some point, and you got to wear it. So I was wrong about Auburn winning on Saturday. I had a lot of worries coming into that game about Auburn's defense and all the things that we saw in the first half. But, yeah, no, I was wrong about that. I'm happy that I was.
Honestly, love you to death. It was payback for the Clemson bullshit.
Yeah, that was all it was.
Honest to God.
I told Brooks.
And you know what? You did a
game.
good job of at least making him look like it was all on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he's right, he just made it look like it's all on us. That was crazy. You had an opportunity to take a victory lap, and instead you nana boo-booed your co-host. That was crazy.
I just pulled all the clips and receipts of people saying that Clemson was a national title contending team.
People, my co-host saying it.
Well, the only ones, I mean, if we had other people who had mics in the studio, I'd definitely have done it as well. Hey, it's what happens when you're wrong.
You know what? I want to be wrong the next time I pick against them. I kind of want Alabama to lose a football
Yeah,
game
no, for
once in
real,
a while.
dude.
Good God, my business would help. Go up a little bit better. I mean, we still had a drop. We're 3 weeks removed from Alabama snatching a soul, and we're still having drops from the national to the local in terms of viewership.
We're going to get them back.
We're going to get them back. The dog's going to get them back.
Always.
We know that. Let's get y'all's game reaction. I got a whole load of notes, obviously, on film. We've already given the offensive breakdown. We're going to be giving the defensive breakdown tomorrow here on the network. See how, Auburn got off to a hot start. Let's start there, boys. What were y'all's thoughts on Auburn's start to this football game? Just to put some numbers on this for you. They had 26 offensive snaps. They scored 10 points. You had 12 offensive snaps and scored 0 points in the first 28 and a half minutes of this football game. By the way, that was up until the fumble, which we'll talk about. But it was a Auburn holding the rock, getting off to a hot start in a very loud stadium out there.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway that I have from a Georgia perspective is that not only did you come back and win this game because your defense locked down in the second half, but your offense found a way to crawl their way back in by running an offense without a run game. That's something that they haven't had to do this year. They've been able to run the ball against Tennessee. They did it against Kentucky. They ran it against Alabama. Obviously, they ran it against the first two opponents of the season of Marshall and Austin Peay. But this game, you could not manufacture a run game. They tried and they tried and they tried. And so Auburn ultimately was like, we're going to put on 14 shoulders today. And you answered, and you found a way to win a game on the road. Gunnar Stockton once again shows up in a hostile environment, and he leads Georgia to a win. That's probably the biggest takeaway that I have about this one.
We'll talk about it more in the film notes, but I thought the extension of the run game really alleviated a lot of problems. They were stacking the box. They're a good run defense. They
Absolutely.
got great bodies up front in that box. So they're going to stop a lot of run game if you can't get it explosively. And it left them vulnerable, I felt like, in the extension of the run game. Why Zachariah Branch and Colby Young had such big football games in that area of the football game.
Yeah, and I feel like that this was the best instance of Mike Bobo really adapting to what you were getting from not only your team but the opposing team. The wrinkles that you had, like you said, the extension of the run game in this regard and the ability to put the ball in Gunnar Stockton's hands and force him to win, but do it in a way that wasn't out of Gunnar Stockton's nature. I didn't feel like there was many passes that he had to make over the middle or instances where it's like, you've got to layer the football here. It was, hey, we need you to rip it here. We need you to rip it now. And that provided them an opportunity to win that football game.
I think the biggest thing about Auburn from this game was, and I think you mentioned it in the National Hour, Brooks, of they had an adrenaline dump. And you could see it in their players I think it was number 77 on the offensive line.
Yeah.
To open that game, that dude
he's
had no
mauling.
idea where he was because his brain was racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I mean, he's smacking his head after every play. I mean, he's just playing balls to the wall.
Mauling people.
He was.
He was mauling people.
For the first two drives of that game, I mean, Auburn is just giving it to Georgia. They're out physicaling them. They're doing everything right in this game to get a lead in this ball game. And then when it ultimately came crashing down, I mean, I think it would have happened even without the major momentum shift with the fumble. But I think you could tell that eventually this team was going to come back down to earth, and they did. And when they did, there was just no way to get back up because then Georgia was slowly picking it back up, and they were peaking at that moment.
I told you on the ride home, and I told the audience on Sunday's show, I was speaking to a staffer in the middle of the run, and he had the best analysis. They're going to run out of plays. Eventually, they had to rely on their base offense, and Georgia stuffed them in the second half. But, boys, we missed the boat here not talking about the momentum-changing play, which was the fumble. I want you guys' opinions on that play.
So I said in the moment, like multiple times, because at first I was like, that's a touchdown. There's no way. Because the way his body, like half of his body was over the goal line. I was telling everyone in the house, I was like, that's a touchdown. There's no way they overturn it. And then as the replay views kept coming out, I said, I don't know what this call is. Yeah. This is the most 50-50 call I've ever seen in my life. If it was called a touchdown on the field and stood, I'd have understood it. If it was called a fumble on the field, which it was and stood, I'd have been understood and very happy for it. I don't understand how it wasn't a touchdown other than the fact that it was a clear recovery dead ball. I think that you have an argument if you're a Georgia fan that a touchdown was taken away from you in that regard because Kyron Jones never did touch the ground.
Well, I mean, half of the staff's on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And there's inadvertent whistles.
Yeah,
all over
no,
the place.
They had no idea that the ball was out.
No, I mean that was my observation live. I mean, ironically enough, I'm standing like at the 10 with a really, really good angle, probably at the 5 with like a really good angle of the line of scrimmage. And immediately you notice that the ball is loose upon live viewing, and the ball is spit out, and then everybody on the sideline is going nuts. And the line judge whose job's to run in on the ball and spot it, they're pulling bodies off the
trying to find the ball.
Trying to find the ball. They can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're trying to spot it, Kirby. They don't. They're trying to see where the ball carrier's down and seeing whether or not it was even getting across the line. And at that point, they're blowing whistles, and Kyron's still on the 50. So if you're a Georgia fan that is out here saying that should have been a touchdown in your favor, you're asking way too much.
Yeah.
You're being way too greedy
for sure
on a situation where you got an advantage.
At that point, you're just happy that they didn't score.
Go ahead.
I think that the thing that most people are kind of not looking at when they're watching these replays of this fumble, and they're like, oh, the ball crossed the plane of – I think people are paying attention to the second punch that is occurring.
Yeah, CJ hits
it's
it first.
It's the first punch that starts the ball, that forces it to move before, in my opinion, before he gets over the plane, where that ball was already kind of moving in his hands. And the way you can tell is I think Jackson kind of starts to change his grip on the ball, and then the second punch dislodges it. But I think at the end of the day, if you think it's a score – don't fumble the football.
The most hilarious part of that to me is that you have people on both sides that are saying it was clearly a touchdown or it's clearly a fumble.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I hate the fact that, and I talked about this on Sunday, and it was one of my takes I'm most proudest about. I hate the fact that the actual football brilliance right there gets completely ignored because boo refs suck. The fact that a head coach calls a timeout on a short yardage situation when they're clearly about to run quarterback sneak, calls a timeout, head coach, defensive coordinator, get the two linebackers who punched that football out together and say, he's going to try to put that football over that line, that goal line. You need to punch it out. And it goes all by the wayside. We ignore it all because refs suck. I hate that. Mm-hmm. They made a play, and they put it at the feet of the Zebras, and that's why it got left up to the Zebras.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying of don't fumble the ball.
Yeah.
Don't fumble the ball. Don't lose the ball. It's a touchdown for you, and you're going to be all right. But your quarterback lost control of the ball, and it ultimately fell the other way. So that just is what it is.
If Auburn fans don't like us then, they're really not going to like me here in about 5 minutes. What did you think about Kirby's timeout? That was obviously a timeout that he's clapping on. By the way, Double Down today in the press conference said, I stand by with nobody. He said no one, very strongly, no one from the league office has spoken to me about that, and I stand by my post-game comments.
So I've kind of changed because in the moment I was like, oh, Kirby just clearly finessed his way out of calling a timeout because that's what it looked like. Because you can't hear what Kirby's saying, and all you see him is him clapping. And as a broadcast mentioned, it sounds like Kirby's saying, I was clapping, I wasn't calling a timeout. I think going back and watching it, It's ultimately on the ref, in my opinion. Kirby clearly calls a timeout. Kirby then is saying they're clapping, like he said pregame, like he told them pregame of you can't let them clap. And so Kirby says they're clapping. The ref thinks that he's saying, oh, he was clapping. We'll take back the timeout. That's on the ref at that point because you got to stand on your decision, in my opinion, of charging them the timeout, and especially when it's playing up on the video board in the stadium of Kirby clearly calling a timeout. I think they should have charged him the timeout. I don't think it's on Kirby. I think it's on the ref.
I don't even know. Like, the debate I go with internally is, was Kirby Smart calling a timeout and then very quickly in the moment thought, oh, wait, no, we don't need this timeout. I'm going to change my stance really quickly and say, no, they're clapping. Like, I don't think that you can think that quickly on the fly.
As he is saying timeout, or as he is pantomiming timeout, he's screaming, they're clapping.
Yes.
They're clapping, they're clapping, they're clapping, and he's calling a timeout because they're clapping, and they're about to take a delay of game. Now, he says they're about to get it off under the shot clock. I don't know.
That's what
like it was about to take a delay to me.
That's what also was very.
And yes, the safety was clapping. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what also is very interesting to me is that I feel like Kirby Smart was yelling at the ref. They're clapping. They're clapping. They're clapping. Obviously, yes, this is a timeout signal. And this is the hand motion he's doing. I think it's very, very weird. It's very ticky-tacky. Obviously, people are going to make their decisions on it as they please. I personally don't think that Kirby Smart was intending to call a timeout there.
You know what we forgot to talk about after the fumble? The absolute dismantling of Auburn. Right?
Yeah, I mean
you let Georgia get out of their own end right there because Keldrick Falk jumps inside on a play he probably shouldn't. Ball spits out, gets around the edge, and now the 2-minute drill has started. But the 2-minute drill really starts the moment you both target the quarterback, which I felt like was probably not going to get called if it happens on Auburn's sideline, but it happened on Georgia's sideline. And you're not going to hit the quarterback in his chest or neck or head area, lose your helmet, you hit him so hard, and not get a penalty. That's just the way football is. Basically, we said on the film study, basically since Brady's knee got taken out, every quarterback gets overprotected. Every quarterback. So that's first and foremost. And then to continue upon that, you rough the quarterback on a third down. I mean, that to me was roughing.
Yeah.
It was roughing. You threw him down after forcing a ball to be thrown out of bounds. You had to play one, and you lack discipline. You continue to tackle the guy to the ground. That's unraveling in the middle of it. And I thought they did that because their whole sideline's unraveling. The head coach is losing his mind. The athletic director's chasing referees out of the state. Like, the whole sideline was losing their mind. Nobody was able to grip the football team.
It's very obvious now in retrospect, but even in the moment, that Auburn was just going to pout for the entire second half of that game and basically say, there's nothing we can do. The refs threw. Like, Georgia didn't hold a lead until midway through the third quarter. Like, Auburn was still very much in the lead of that game. The way I used the analogy for was if you're in a track race and you have a lead against your opponents and someone steps in your way or does something to where you have to adjust and change the way you're running. You still have the lead, but something affected you that kind of ruined your momentum, and you immediately stop running. You just go, oh, and everyone runs by you and you lose. Like, that's what I don't get.
Well, I mean, you're talking about how Auburn was just going to sit there and pout. I think you could really feel it in the entire stadium. It wasn't just the football team. It wasn't just on the sidelines. I mean, going into halftime really was – I mean, we're talking about Cam Newton's jersey is getting retired at halftime, and they put on a great show. They do all the cool things. They got all the bells and whistles.
Oh, it's electric.
Yeah, and the energy wasn't there. And for the remainder of the game, I felt like the energy wasn't there from that stadium. Like, I felt like everybody on the stadium was like, well, that's it. Like, that's the ball game because we got screwed out of another game when there's an entire another half of play with you still having a 7-point lead. You still had plenty of opportunities to take a lead in that game, take the lead back from Georgia at one point, secure the – like, I thought you had plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a second. Any more thoughts from you guys from your game reactions? You got any more notes?
I did want to point this out. I know you kind of laughed at me when I said this last week.
Hysterical.
I said that Georgia had to win the inner 30. They had to win the inner 30 minutes.
The middle 30. Yeah. Win second and third quarter.
But because
dominated.
In 2023, that is partially why Auburn was remaining in that game because Georgia just failed to do so. And in this one, Georgia outscored them 13-3 in the second and third quarter, and they absolutely put the game away essentially in those two quarters. So Georgia won the inner 30, and I thought that was a pivotal shift in this game.
You know what else is pivotal? Making sure you choose the correct vice machine. All right. And for me, I vice with quality. Boys, let's make a decision here on our Lucy Breaker flavor of the night. Are we going apple cider or are we going mint?
Both.
Oh, I like both. We'll get two in at some point. I'll go apple cider first, and then we'll circle back on mint. Guys, if you don't know yet, Lucy Breakers is the best place to be with regards to nicotine this season. That's where I'm at. Lucy.io today, promo code FGN. Get 20% off with our friends over there at Lucy's. It's a great time to be on this network, and it's a great time to be vicing with quality and vicing with our friends over at Lucy's. Lucy.io, promo code FGN. You got a quizzitive look upon your face.
You know, I just had something kind of.
Go ahead.
Something kind of dawn on me.
What's
like
that?
A take that I kind of want to.
That you love Lucy Breakers?
I do.
Is that the take that you have?
I love Lucy Breakers for what they do for the show.
High quality Lucy Breakers.
Definitely.
Lucy.io, promo code FGN, 20% off today.
Love them for that. But this is regarding the game. You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Oh, what's going on here? Oh no!
I just thought of this too. So
Random tinfoil hat out of nowhere?
All right. So the year is 2010. The number 1 ranked Auburn Tigers are playing Georgia Bulldogs, and Cam Newton jumps over a pile, similar to how it was done last week's game. By the way, Cam Newton clearly fumbles before the ball crosses the goal line. Auburn is awarded a touchdown.
Ball's loose.
Fast forward 3 years later, in 2013, Auburn pulls off 2 of the biggest miracles in college football history in the span of 3 weeks. Goes to the national championship for that. 2017, they beat the number 1 team twice in a span of 3 weeks. 2019, Mac Jones throws a football off of his wide receiver's back as return for a touchdown. Auburn wins. Like, the Jordan Hare voodoo has been a very, very real thing. But what if this Saturday was the final nail in the coffin for that, to where Jordan Hare voodoo is no more? Because remember, 2 years ago you had the Gravedigger. Yeah. Stuff like that never happens. What if
the football god said, I draw the line at Hugh Freeze?
That's it. What if, I mean, there's no denying that, even if you're a Georgia fan, multiple calls in that game bounced Georgia's way.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair to say. Calls that in the past are things where it's just like dumb luck that you can't explain. Auburn usually gets. What if Saturday was the final nail in the coffin for this Jordan Hare voodoo, and the 15 years of that wretched stadium holding a grip on all of college football is finally over?
Wretched stadium, most beautiful campus in the SEC. Sorry, Auburn fans. He just took a shot. But he's got a tinfoil hat on right now. It's, microwaves getting to him.
But no, I mean, it's like, seriously, like, what if that is like something that we're going to see moving from here on out? Like, that curse is over and we've watched it end on Saturday night.
That cursed end with Gravedigger.
There's no way to quantify it other than the results that will happen for the remainder of the year in that stadium.
We will see.
They got a couple big ones left.
They got one this weekend.
Another night game out there for them. Hope that fan base shows back up. I'm sure they will. They very rarely don't. I mean, one of the best environments I've seen in the SEC recently was Cadillac Williams.
Streak going.
Cadillac Williams' 6-6 win. I mean, that was electric for a football team that was poo. You know? Doo-doo. I got film notes. You want them?
Let's hear it.
Offense, defense first. What you want? Let's give you the offense. Felt like it was Gunner's most promising football game. Keyword, promising. I did not think it was his best. His best football game's obvious. It's Tennessee on the road, scoring 44 points. Duh. But definitely his most promising, particularly against zone coverage. We've been hitting this nail on the head for a while now. It almost feels like it's overdone and overcooked. But it wasn't just that, the first 5 games, 4 of them against zone football teams, it wasn't just that you were throwing for 200 yards. It wasn't just that, the passing game lacked the explosivity. It's that sometimes he was turning things down. He just wasn't trusting himself. He wasn't trying. All right, I'm going to say he wasn't competing. I'm not going to say he wasn't trying. He wasn't competing with his arm against zone windows at the rate that I wanted him to. All right, and the rate that the offense needed him to. It ain't even got nothing to do with my wants, right? It's that the offense needs to be explosive, and through the pass against zone coverage, you got to pull the trigger. And no, he did not complete any of the balls that I'm admiring him or acknowledging that we at least competed, but we at least competed. All right, we competed over the middle of the field. We competed confidently, and eventually we will get better. You know why I know we're going to get better? Because the mere fact that we're attempting means we're getting better. So I expect him to eventually start to complete some of these balls, eventually start to see him not only complete them, but hit them accurately, right? And hit them where they can actually run after the catch. All right, I expect growth and continued progression with the quarterback. He confirmed to me that he can at least improve. And that was the most important thing about that performance, in my opinion, from Gunnar Stockton. By the way, I thought he did a really, really good job, and I thought they left 3 really, really big, massive chunks on tape. That he did his job. He did everything he needed to do and put the ball where it needed to be to create an explosive. I'll run them down for you. A deep ball to Colby Young on 4th and 5, where very clearly Drew Bobo thinks they've got an Auburn player in the neutral zone. They have not. It is not an offsides. I don't know what you thought about that as a fan, but being there in a game, it's very clear that number 24 did not enter the neutral zone. Drew Bobo thought he was going to get one and snap the football. That ball's in Colby Young's hands. You saw it today on film study. It is a catch. It just doesn't get completed. The ball to Elias Williams might have gotten away with an OPI. That ball is caught. That ball is in his hands. Need to come down with that. The ball to Noah Thomas, very similar to the situation with London Humphreys. I don't know if the route concept was identical, but nonetheless, one-on-one opportunity to the pylon. Noah Thomas goes out with one. Ball's in his tips. Ball's in the fingertips right there. If we go up with 2, I think we catch it. Guys, we catch those 3 balls. We leave out of that place with 300 yards passing. Ain't nobody talking about Gunnar Stockton limitations. Everybody's talking about how great he was in that football game. That was my primary takeaway there. The other takeaway for me is, man, all season last year, I'm not going to say it was used as an excuse, but it was. How many times did we talk about that offensive line? Oh, they're hurt. That's why they're not playing good. Oh, they're hurt. Oh, these guys, they're great football players, but oh, they're hurt. They're all playing great football right now in the NFL. I'm not taking a shot at those football players. That being said, this unit's hurt as hell. This unit is so hurt right now. And they are going out and they're playing winnable football for 4 quarters against really, really good units. Moreau Freeling playing on one leg. Micah Morris, very clearly not himself. I found out after the football game, Drew Bobo, not really 100% in that football game. Juan Gaston playing on one leg. Like, they are playing so banged up right now, so hard and so effort-filled that you can't say nothing about the offensive line other than they might be one of the better units in the league, in a league that's struggling with units at that position. So they are playing really, really good football. Chat's hitting the nail on the head. Warrior football right now. Warrior football from the offensive line. It needs to be commended. I am so glad. I'm sure it's Cole Kubelik. I'm sure it's great media members. Whoever is voting for SEC Offensive Line Award of the Week, you're watching ball. You're watching ball so much more and so much closer than any of these other yahoos and jamokes that are voting on national awards. Good on you. And I'm sure, again, I guarantee it's led by Cole Kubelik. Great job right there by him noticing that, because the common fan isn't seeing that on TV. In fact, the common fan was tweeting at me how bad 57 was. In the press conference at Kirby's, I'm sitting in Kirby's press conference, I'm getting tagged 57's a problem. No, 57 ain't. 57's a warrior. And you just didn't know what you were seeing. He's playing on one foot. Great job by him, man. Absolutely insane in a day and age where people are not doing that. No. People are not doing that. They are not texting their football coach on Tuesday after getting a medical report that wasn't necessarily all that great and saying, Coach, I'm traveling this week no matter what, and I'm going to play. I'm going to play in this football game, and I'm going to make a difference. And he did exactly that. Shout out to 57, man. Shout out. I thought Colby Young and Zachariah Branch, after the catch and the yak opportunities in the screen game, were the major difference in this football team that struggled to run the ball consistently against a great unit in Auburn. We talked about that a little bit earlier. What they are doing right now in the run game, forcing teams to dedicate numbers and bodies to that box, means that everywhere outside they've got one-on-one opportunities basically in the screen game, right? Because you're gonna have to play 3 over 3. You're not able to play 3 over 2. You're not able to play 4 over 3. The extra bodies in the box dedicated to the run. It's simple math, guys. So when we have 3-on-3 opportunities or 2-on-2 opportunities, it's really a one-on-one after the catch in the screen game. Y'all see how the math works, right? I get one blocker for your one defender, and now we got 9 yards of cushion between the nickel defender and Zachariah Branch. Good effing luck. Nobody's getting him down on the ground right now. They're elite in the screen game. And 8's great. Great. So bad. So hard to tackle. Runs so hard after the catch right now. They stopped your run game, but like I said, by the way, not getting enough flowers. I'm sure Kirby said it after the football game. 86 blocked his butt off on the perimeter this weekend. Dylan Bell was another primary reason why you had that success on the edge. That 2nd and 11 where Zachariah Branch is scooting down Auburn's sideline, Dylan Bell's damn near got the corner at the water table. Like, there is elite edge blocking going out there right about now. Felt like Josh McCray provided what I'm calling predictable carries. Like, if I give 2 the ball, I know I'm getting 4 yards and a lean on the linebacker when he shows up. All right, I thought Nate Frazier, we saw some of the pictures coming home. The ball security was so paramount to him. It was so obvious that he was taking the coaching points, and he needs to be commended for that. And I felt like he was commended for that by extra carries. They closed the game with Josh and Nate. Chauncey dealing with a little bit of an injury right about now. And final note on the offense, the short yardage calls late were clinics. Clinics from Bobo and the execution of the offense. Let's flip over to the defensive side of the football. Everybody wants to know what the adjustment were, right? Everybody, hey, how did they change? What did they change? In my opinion, I know it sounds simple. There were some schematical differences, right? They're bumping alignments a little bit, changing reads, changing keys, changing looks, doing different things. But the reality is, and it's not coach speak, they just fit things better. They saw them multiple times. They got to see them, got more comfortable with them, and they fit them better. You want examples of this? I got it. The first time they run jet sweep to the Auburn sideline, it's a 9-yard gash. It's poorly fit. They don't, the front side inside linebacker, Raylan Wilson, does not get outside fast enough. They don't turn it back in. It's a 9-yard gasher. They start the second half with the same exact play to the Georgia sideline. C.J. Allen runs it down for a -2. That's adjustments. When we talk about how do we change things, well, we get more comfortable seeing them, and we stay on the field long enough that we see it, we get better and better at it, and that's exactly what happened in that football game. First time they ran tight end arrow, it's an explosive. They run Preston Howard out in the flat off of a run look, and bang, he hits you for 18, 20 yards. Guys, they turned it over on downs on the same exact play later on in the football game. And you can say that ball needs to be caught, but when I watch it on film, the first time he runs it, he's running out in the flat, naked as can be. There's nobody within 20 yards of him. It's an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback. Well, the last time they ran it, the 4th or 5th time that they ran it in a critical down, well, it's rubbed up all kind of crazy. Preston Howard's got a bubble behind the line of scrimmage. Gabe Harris gets up and resets it, right? Tight end gets put into the lap of Preston Howard as he bubbles out. Now I got 2 guys in my face trying to throw it over the top of him, and now we drop it. And you say, well, we should catch that football. Yes, you should. And that leads me to my next point. You can sit there, and I understand it. You're a fan, and it is what it is. You are tied emotionally to wins and losses, so I get it. And every Auburn fan is sitting there complaining about refs. In reality, the refs did screw you. But you did not go out and win that football game in the second half. You didn't, especially offensively. I got 3 plays that I think completely changed the football game, and ain't a damn one of them got anything to do with the Zebras. Play number 1 is the 4th down play. It's 4th and 1. Catch the ball. Make the play. You want to make it upset. You want to have a big win at home. Make the play. There's another play on the very next possession, 3rd and 4. Perry Thomas has got to square in. He's wide ass open. He is beating Dalen Everett off the line of scrimmage. You know what happens? Jackson Arnold duck farts it at his feet. Punt. Georgia gets the ball back, goes down and scores. You didn't take the football game. Later on, next possession, you got an opportunity of a lifetime. Eric Singleton has cooked Ja'Cory Thomas in the middle of the field. What happens? You don't get it completed. There's a 65-yard explosive right there on the tape. Didn't get it completed. We can talk about complaints about referees all damn day, but in reality, you had the game. It was right there. You didn't take it. That would be my takeaway if I'm standing up in front of that room, not kicking off the captain that's a running back. That's just me.
And I think that to this point, I think that some people in the chat are making a great point about how Georgia kind of ran into one of these situations last year on the road against Texas. Where they have a call reversed. The refs called it one thing, trash is thrown on the field, it's thrown the other way, Texas gets the ball, they score, and it kind of changes the momentum in that game. Well, Georgia goes on to win that game and put that game away. They didn't let that affect them ultimately for the remainder of the game. Auburn had a very similar opportunity to do the same thing of answer anyways, who cares about the call, whatever, we don't care what we think about that anymore, we got to go execute now. You just didn't execute. You didn't make the plays that you needed to. You didn't go win that football game.
Yeah, it's like I said, like you had the lead and you threw your hands up and said, we've been cheated, this is wrong. And you were so focused on that for the entire game that you failed to convert or execute or play well for the last 30 minutes of football. So that's on you as much as we can all say that. Yes, that play influenced the outcome of the game to some degree. It didn't change what you had to do. Like you could have, it wasn't like this took place in the final 5 minutes of the game and Georgia's, game-tying touchdown took place there. You had 30 minutes of football left in the lead still. But no, going back to your film notes on Gunnar Stockton, you left off what I felt like was his biggest improvement and what I feel like made that offense so much better. He's looking downfield now when he gets outside the pocket. There were a handful of times where he got outside, was taking off, and very clearly saw he had someone coming back on a hitch, stopped and threw the ball. I think he did that to Colby Young twice. One of those plays got reviewed for 30 minutes like it did in the second half or the second quarter. But that was
3 times then, because that's what happens on the Cash Jones play, and that's exactly what happens on the targeting.
Yeah.
What you're explaining.
Yeah.
He's rolling right, defense sucks up, thinks he's going to run, boom, dump off.
And
reception.
That's something I don't think we've seen him do in the previous 5 games. So big props to Gunnar on that improvement. And that's where I was like, okay, this is going to be good. Because if he gets outside the pocket now and there's still a threat for him to throw, he's not immediately tucking and running, defenses are going to have a much harder time controlling him.
By the way, we left a refereeing point off of it, and I've changed my tune on this one. Watching it live, I thought the Cash Jones play was a makeup call. It was right after the tight end timeout debacle.
It felt like that, yeah.
I felt like it was a makeup call. I watched it on tape. That's tough. That's tough. And what happens is Cash thinks that Gunner's about to take off running, so he goes to become a lead blocker. Meanwhile, number 16, the Auburn defender, has eyes on Gunner and sees that Gunner's going to throw, so he goes to look at the target. And as soon as he's looking at the target, Cash Jones hits him in the chin. Immediate fencing pose. It looked tough. I mean, it was a bad hit.
Yeah,
But it wasn't dirty.
No,
It wasn't
if
like
anything, call that an offensive pass interference and move on. I don't think calling it a blindside block because it wasn't
block. It was an illegal man downfield, illegal touch and pass interference, like you're saying.
Yeah, like it wasn't a blindside block. Like the two players came at each other from as about a head-on angle as you can. It's not like one player was running this way and the other came that way and just clobbered him. Like, I don't know. But again, it's the worst officiated game I think any of us have seen in the last 5 to 10 years of football. There's no denying that, whether what aisle you play on. So just got to leave it at that. Like, it was the worst officiating game. One team had the culture and the wherewithal to fight through for 60 minutes. The other did not and faltered when something didn't go their way.
I know one thing, it was a bad Saturday for Cash Jones haters.
Yeah. Little EAD on that action.
That third down play, man.
There was multiple plays where Cash Jones was making a big play.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get into the 4th and 1 where you pitch it to Nate without Cash Jones making a linebacker miss in the flat at the line of scrimmage.
No, you don't.
I mean, by the way, we got to talk to Nate about just like taking a chill pill. The amount of times I see Nate just like spazzing himself onto the ground is insane. I'm Kirby laughing. It's dead serious.
No, I'm laughing.
He'll just like, it just like fall on the ground out of nowhere. And luckily it's when he doesn't have the ball. But like check downs, check releases, hey, get a chip and get out. Whew, staying on his feet is tough right now. But he did do a great job protecting the football on
Great
Saturday.
bounce back game for him.
Great bounce back. But that, see?
Not easy to say,
It's
apparently.
Contagious. Where are we at? What do y'all want?
Do game balls.
Let's do game balls.
We do game balls. What do you got for me?
Offensive.
Who's got the game ball? I got 5 nominees.
Okay, offensively, I went Gunnar Stockton.
Ooh, that's a 6th nominee, Cash Jones. A little EAD nominee, a little special OLI EAD.
There you go.
For me, it should go to no one other than Monroe Freeling. I mean, you got out of a performance like that against a defensive line like that.
Made so much money.
You can't just go out there and mail it in like, oh, we just got an effort today and we'll be fine. Like, you got to go out there and play ball on one foot, and he did that. And he was a massive, massive, massive reason why Georgia's able to get back in that game and take a lead. So 57 gets a game ball for me.
Love it. What do you got for me, Curb? Game ball. Who you giving it to?
He just
Come on, man.
Who'd you just say?
Gunnar.
My bad. I got to lock in. That's on me. I'm reading chat. Chat's doing good tonight. Chat's having fun.
Yeah, they're being active.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, chat. My game ball goes to Monroe Freeling or Zachariah Branch or Gunnar Stockton or Colby Young or Dylan Bell.
Good shot to Dylan.
Dylan Bell
I thought every other offensive lineman had an up and down game except for Donald Glover.
Yeah.
Dontrell, excuse me. Not Donnie Glover. They call him Donnie. I'm going to call him Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie
or Dontrell.
Okay, I'm going to call him Donnie. He had a very consistent football game. That
did.
kid is so good.
I think
I don't even know who his player comp is. Do we have a 6'3", always great offensive lineman that plays guard? 6'3", 315, gets the job done, no flair, all nasty. Do we have one of those?
I can't think of one off the top. I'm sure there is one. I can't think of one.
Who's how big is Elgin Jenkins?
Here's a take. Now, this player played multiple positions, but if he were to play guard, this is who he would be. Jamar Sawyer.
Too big.
It's the same height.
Too big. I think Donnie's a better
He's
football
not as
player.
rotund as Jamari Sawyer, but you're talking about a kid that has no flair. Like, it's not
Donnie's
flair.
better.
It's not flashy.
What do you got for me over there, AI? How big is Elgin Jenkins, the kid out of Mississippi State that used to play for the Packers? Cool. That's what I'm thinking. Like, really, really good athlete, really high floor, decent ceiling. No. I asked for height and weights on Elgin Jenkins. Lock in, AI. Lock it. Guy gets a big win this weekend, and now he's all hyped. Lock in, bro. Lock in. Too late now. Don't be over there doing it now. Defensive game balls. Who you got, boys?
There's one obvious answer.
Come on.
Quintavious Johnson.
That's the one.
Okay.
Quintavious Johnson.
Dirty Jersey himself.
Somebody was going to go with C.J. Allen, so
Mm-hmm.
I knew I had to go with somebody else. But Quintavious Johnson also deserves one. I know that C.J. Allen had maybe the best game of his career so far, but that for the entire season, for that matter, 33 has been playing really good football for Georgia. And I know he gets thrown in that category of Georgia can't get to the passer, we can't get pressure, blah, blah, blah. That dude is playing really good football right now, and he's playing hard.
You're getting good at that.
It's just
The I'm a dumb fan voice. I like that. Do it one more time.
blah, blah, blah. Can't
Yeah.
get to the quarterback. No pass rush.
None.
That dude's playing hard, and he's playing really well right now.
Dirty Jersey 33.
He is.
King Dirty Pants.
Every single time.
Absolutely. Lays it on the line. Ain't nobody playing more snaps and harder in that box right now than Quintavious Johnson. Who you got?
I'm going
Go
to
ahead.
save C.J. Allen for you.
What?
So I'm going to go with Raylan Wilson here.
Okay.
Because the secondary punch that knocked the ball firmly loose was the turning point of that game. Like, you're down 17-0 if that punch doesn't happen. C.J. Allen was in there too, and that's why I'm saving him for you. But Raylan Wilson solidifying that and getting that ball jarred fully loose, saves you the game, arguably.
I think Raylan's playing really, really great football. Not good enough. Really, really great football. Not good enough.
That's fair.
All right, we'll go 3 snaps looking like a great player and then have one really bad misread. It's interesting. Very interesting what's going on right now with Raylan. CJ's playing lockdown football. CJ Allen, I'm going to show you a play tomorrow.
That clip you posted was insane.
That was stupid. Wait till you see the clip I'm going to show you tomorrow. There is a clip, the sack he has on 3rd down. He very clearly notices that the offensive line's doing this, which is pantomiming for fan. They're very clearly fanning out because Georgia has walked 5 up and CJ Allen's hunting around. And as soon as they go like this, you see CJ throw his hand up like this right here to tell the film and to tell everybody when they're watching it, I'm about to add in here what I'm not supposed to. And he runs right down the midline, right through the fan, tackle, sack, get off the field. Elite football. And you know what Kirby said today? He just now got healthy.
Mm-hmm.
We've been praising this kid for 5 weeks now on this network. He's been playing with a tweaked hammy.
And people have been on the timeline talking about C.J. Allen not good enough right now.
I do remember people saying he doesn't look as fast as he wants to.
Well, I wonder why.
Makes sense now.
Now look, he's always going to look tight-hipped.
Yeah.
But man, does he cover ground.
Yeah, that coverage clip you posted, didn't look too bad right there.
Also, people are like, he didn't even catch the ball. Like, buddy, he had to throw his body in front of it because he thought it was going to be at the right spot. He thought it was going to be in front where it's supposed to be. And it ends up on the back shoulder of the wide receiver, which means it was damn near at his shins. So, yeah, that rep was like, whoa. And by the way, that was like the 4th rep in a row where I'm like, hell yeah, 3. Hell yeah, 3. Hell yeah. Oh, my God, tweet. You know? That's what was going on late last night on them film notes. 33 was mentioned. 52.
I wanted
Kristen
to put
Miller.
him down.
That's a great football player.
Yeah.
Just like top to bottom, plays great football. Down to down. I don't think we've seen a single rep this year where I'm like, what happened to 52 right here? Ain't got rolled once. He's putting guys in the backfield 90% of snaps. You know who else is playing really, really good football?
Who's that?
Like above expectations football. Jordan Hall. Jordan Hall's playing great football right now. Tough football.
Good
and, of
for
course,
him.
Dalen Everett's playing great ball
Yeah,
right now.
gosh. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that play.
That pick though.
The what?
If
Oh, the game sealing one?
he catches the pick, he's my game ball winner.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was –
I'm
could have
already-
handed it to
I
him
think,
any better.
I think I
but-
was already taking pictures of a celebratory sideline at that point.
That's fair. But no, you watch the tape. Like, he has a ball hit him in his chest.
Yeah, there's a FIB that they run where he carries the vertical, squats down, and smacks the tight end in the mouth on their sideline and disrupts a football. On
Yeah.
2nd and 10. It's an elite play. The way he flips his hips too. There's a comeback that he breaks up on their sideline early in the football game to Cam Coleman. That's like teach tape.
Oh,
in
yeah.
terms of playing cover 3, getting out of your pedal and breaking on a comeback, it's as good as it gets. Now, Cam Coleman falls down on the route and stumbles out of his break, but it's a great close.
I thought Dalen and Ellis had good games on Saturday.
That breakup, by the way, they thought they had great games too. They didn't waver from the game plan once.
No.
The game plan, we wondered, what are they going to do against attached 12? That RPO look that they give, right, where they bring both tight ends in the box, put Cam Coleman at X, put Eric Singleton over at the Z, and then basically play, are you going to stop the run or are you going to play one-on-one football? They played one-on-one football for 4 quarters. They left those corners out there to live or die, and they lived a lot, I thought. Forced a lot of comebacks, which means you're speed turning correctly.
Yeah.
You're getting on top of the route. You're making them check down, basically, in those RPOs. Special teams winner. NA?
I went Zachariah Branch. He had a
Yeah.
really big return, 24 yards. And, I mean, I think people forget how valuable it is to have a punt returner that does not muff the football. That is insane. And it's not something you've consistently had for a long time. Even in your championship runs, you didn't consistently have that.
Yeah.
Lad McConkey was good for a drop every now and then. Go watch the Kent State game. So he's been phenomenal. up to this
Also,
point.
it's not just all the catching. They make those punters so nervous. He does, at least I should say. They're told all week, do not kick to this guy. Do not kick to this guy. I think that's what the shank in the fourth quarter, I think that played a role. I think all week long you're told, don't leave this thing up too long. Don't kick this thing too far. Got to have a lot of hang time. Got to kick this thing high. Like that kind of thing. And that gets in your head. You don't just get to go out there and swing your leg like you get to against 99.9% of punt returners, apart from your own. Auburn's got one of these guys. The Pleasant kid's really, really good. And y'all did, I guess, for that matter, maybe the Aussie ought to get an award here, right? Brett Thorson, you didn't allow a punt return in that football
he
game.
allowed one.
Allowed one. You got it was a big ripper too, like a 20-yard return, wasn't it?
It wasn't 0
It was
yards.
a 60-yard punt that ended up in a 20-yard return.
Yeah,
if
I think it was a
remember.
net 40 or something.
Yeah, net 42. Coach of the game, who you got?
I give it to Mike Bobo.
Good call. I went with
I thought-
Stacey Searles.
I thought
Theft.
I thought the final drive that Georgia had was like, yeah, Mike Bobo deserves this one. I mean,
Yep.
he threw so many different things at Auburn. He got so creative in crucial moments. I mean, even the trick play that they called, it didn't hit, but it should have. I mean, I thought that the second half performance from Mike Bobo was
I did
elite.
think that trick play was called a little early.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I
What?
forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean it's wide open, but it's a former high school quarterback playing wide receiver.
I'm waiting for
don't
one of
know.
these times for them to let Cass Jones throw one on one of those swing routes.
Nah, dude, doesn't deserve to be on the roster.
You're right.
Yeah,
Shouldn't even have a scholarship, Brooks.
Shouldn't. He doesn't, but he should.
Oh, he
You know,
doesn't.
I don't think so. I don't think he's counted on the 105. To be honest with you.
You're right. We can't give him opportunities.
And they can't give that guy opportunities at all.
All he did was pick up first down and big play. And
Bum.
Jeez.
Yep. Can't do it. That one time. I had Stacey Searles as my coach of the game as well.
Yeah.
That whole unit. They got like 4 offensive line coaches. Warren Erickson's over there.
Yeah.
They got another guy that came from UAB, I think. They got my man that came from the Jags. Like they got so many offensive line coaches out there. It's impossible not to have a good approach, I would imagine. Now the hard part is all the musical chairs they're playing. My God.
Yeah, I mean, they put up a graphic and they asked him about Kirby about it
6
today.
different starters,
6 different starting groups, 6 different games. Like, for once, I would like to see a Georgia offensive line just be healthy for an extensive part of the season. Give me, like, 5 straight games. Give me, a back half of playoff. Now, I'll take it in the playoff run, but it's tough to walk out there and be like, oh, this player's not playing today, so we've moved this player to this section, and this player's not 100%, so we've got to kind of worry about that. So it's tough.
Sorry, I was getting asked about a promo code. Got to give this out right quick.
Hey, nothing wrong with sharing the promo.
Just trying to
codes.
handle business.
Understandable.
Y'all good on game balls?
Yeah.
Let's get into positive and negatives to close the show here. What are some? I did this really, really well, I think. So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna knock mine out, and then you guys can just hang out. Positive number 1, Gunner's efforts. All right, both throwing against zone coverage and general toughness. I mean, we talk about it in college football. The fact that your football team is led by an absolute warrior, it changes everything. All right, I think it's part of the reason why 57 is like, no, I'm playing. Have you seen the way my quarterback's playing right now? Have you seen the hits he's taking right now? No way I'm going to sit on the wayside and let that continue. The way they are running the ball after the catch, right? I think that has a lot to do with watching their quarterback. All right, because they all watch the film. They all see it. They all see 14 putting it on the line every single snap, and that matters. We talk about it all the time. I think another positive is obviously the adjustments for the 19th straight game, but the negative off of that is, hey, come on, like start a little bit better. The negative off of Gunner's efforts is Gunner's misses. There still are some misses. They're like, we still out here like trying and efforting over the middle of the field, but we're spraying it still. But at least there's, like we talked about earlier, some opportunity for growth there. It's a positive that you can patchwork this offensive line, but it is certainly a negative that they are not healthy. And we can't you can't get healthy in the middle of the year. That's not how football works. So, and it's a byproduct of unluckiness, right? And you know what? From now on, moving forward, rule of thumb, we're never going to sit here and say, y'all need to trim the rotation. Y'all need to play fewer players. No, you don't. You need to get as many people snaps as possible. And if you can survive it, if you can have Michael Unai out there and survive a turnstile at right tackle for 3 series, those 3 series might save your butt in a whole entire football game 3 months from now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, just play all of them. Play all of them and hope you can survive because they've got to get better. They might have to be the guy.
I mean, it was a big reason why Georgia got saved in the playoffs. I know it was Broderick Jones that got brought into the game, but, I mean, you had a backup offensive lineman step up in a playoff game.
Against Will Turner, of all people.
Yeah.
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson.
Will
Turner, who is that?
Step in
Dallas
at
Turner.
left tackle for you.
Yeah,
and
that's what my football
You
brain
got them
did.
mixed up.
He was a major player for you in that game.
I
Like
didn't even get them mixed up. I morphed them.
he helped you win a national title. So, yeah, I mean, getting guys reps and rotating in is big.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Broderick Jones.
Positive. Josh McCray and Nate. They finished that football game strong as a ball carrier unit. Negative, Chauncey Bones banged up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's your best back, and he's obviously limited right now. I thought that was hey, he's not himself. Hey, he's struggling. We don't need to overrun him right now. Let's give totes to the other guys. I thought it's good that, I mean, at least good you're in a position where you can do that. This time last year, all you had was Cash. All you had was Cash and a freshman and Nate. You're out there trying to survive. That's not the way it is right now. Positives. Noah Thomas.
He's back.
Hell yeah.
He exists.
He's
tremendous
arrived.
amount of confidence against that football team. Kirby said it today. That was the film we watched when we broke him down. That got taken off the internet, the ether, because I guess either an A&M football coach called or an Auburn football coach called and said, we ain't having that. Take that up off the internet. We can't have the world knowing that Noah Thomas was out here going for $185 on the road against Auburn. But that's what he did last year at A&M, and they made him a featured portion of this offense, as they should. And as they've continued to do, they finally got him connected on it. Oscar Delp's efforts on that play-action pass are the reason they're ultimately able to get that ball off. The negatives off of that, missed opportunities still on tape. We talked about 100 yards in explosives left there on missed opportunities at the wide receiver position. I felt like balls that should be caught. All right, I have a high demand. If it hits your hands, it should be yours. I don't think that's too crazy. Do we think that's too high of a demand for wide receivers?
No, it's not.
If it touches the fingertips, it ought to be yours. If it's not, minus on the grade report. That's football. That's the way I would coach that position. That is the expectation. Positives, really, 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 really good in short yardage situations. Negatives, The run game struggled for the first time all season.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Positives. Yards after catch from Zachariah Branch and Colby. This one is not directly tied to that, but I thought Michael Morris had a tough football game to the point where I'm like, are you okay? Are we all right? You're probably not. You're probably hurt. You are hurt. I know you are. But how hurt are you? It looks like it's getting worse. You know? Can't have you being a problem. And I don't think he is. But there was a couple plays where it's like, hey, 56, come on, man. You're better than that.
Going back to the slow starts, I feel like for the last 12 games that we've covered Georgia football, dating back to last season, we've come here on Monday and said, hey, that was about as bad of a half of football as you can play, and you still blank, whether it be found a way to win or lost by only 3 or came back and took the lead, so-and-so, all of this. Like, when is that going to stop? That's my biggest concern at this point, because it's very clear that you can dominate these teams. You held Alabama scoreless in the second half. You held Auburn to, I think, under 100 yards in the second half. Like, you have dominated teams in the second half, and it's why you've been in games or won games. Why can't you give me 50 minutes of a full game of that? If you have the first drive, if an offensive team comes out and their first drive is scripted up to a T and they score the first touchdown, fine, so be it. But then dominate them like you have the last 30 minutes of a football game. I don't understand. I've never seen a team like this where the second half is so good that it overcomes a horrible first half. I don't get it.
I think the biggest.
You got the elixir?
Uh,
You got the first half fixer elixir?
No. But I will say this. I think the thing about this football game of the slow start in this one, I have it in one of my negatives, is they brought the physicality to you in the first half. That was partially why I think the slow start happened and why you had to be, that was like you needed a wake-up call for that in this rivalry game on the road at night of, oh, whoa, these guys are punching us in the face right now. We got to wake up and we got to throw punches back. And it took you until the end of the first half for it to happen, but offensively and defensively, those guys were ready to play. And not saying that Georgia wasn't ready, but they were clearly bringing the physicality in the first half. So that was one of my negatives. You hit it right there as well. The slow starts on both sides of the ball in the first half again just continues to be a little bit of a concern. But I think the biggest positives for me from this one, I'll just kind of rattle them off. I mentioned earlier, big game for Nate Frazier, like a second game in a row where he is improving and he's not fumbling the football. It looks like he's getting his confidence back, and you're going to need him too, especially if Chauncey Bowens continues to be nicked up a little bit. The secondary all around, I felt like had a really solid game. I know that Auburn got some points early, and it looked like the secondary was having some issues, but they were locked down for you. They were moving forward in the rest of the game. And then the final one, I think this might be the biggest positive from this game of you made it out alive of your last big true road test of the season. You had to go at Auburn. Now you got a neutral site game against Florida. You got a road trip to Mississippi State. And then you got a neutral site in Atlanta against Georgia Tech. This was the last one of like, oh, we got to go on the road. I don't know about this one. You can kind of take a breather because you got a lot of home games coming up. So you got it through this one. You still sit at one loss. That was a big positive.
Agreed.
You know what else was a massive positive? That golf cart ride leading the stadium.
So clutch.
So close.
Golf cart ride.
Yeah, we got chauffeured to our parking spot.
All I did was stick my thumb out, and they were like, film guy, pick me up. I'm just kidding. It was a media shuttle.
Okay.
But other positive note, a lot more Auburn fans subscribe to this network than I thought.
It took a little bit through the day.
It did, but mostly in the stadium. Walking around, not so much.
And we walked all over that campus.
I mean, yeah, we did. We walked around that campus a couple times. Beautiful campus.
It is.
Beautiful campus. Massive football game this weekend, boys. Massive one. We're going to do a lot of previewing and a lot of prep on this Ole Miss Georgia football game. Initial thoughts, first and foremost, on this game before we get into the week.
A slow start against this Ole Miss team, not going to fare well. I mean, because they will go up on you 17-0 if you're not careful. They will get it in the end zone because of who their head coach is and who their play caller is. They stumbled a little bit, though, so that's a positive. They don't play that great on the road, so if you're kind of banking on those two things, I think you lean in Georgia's favor. But, I mean, it's going to be another big test for you, especially defensively.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of what this team doesn't do well necessarily, and that's play on the road. The check with me's and the ability to change at the line and audible in that goes out the window when you're on the road in a loud environment, so Georgia fans need to be loud for this one.
And loud immediately.
Yeah.
Like as soon as the ball is spotted, as soon as the ball is put down, start screaming. Because Lane's going to be in that headset talking to Chambliss the entire 25 seconds leading up to that 15-second cutoff. You need to be screaming your head off as soon as it goes. He needs to be doing this, wondering what coach is telling him the entire snap. That's what needs to be happening in that stadium. And Kirby hit the nail on the head during his press conference today. He already issued the challenge. It needs to be the most insane environment that stadium has ever had. Let's hit some super chubs before we get out of here. Carol Hosey says, I'm new to the channel, really enjoying the content. Good to be amongst fellow ball knowers. Run and tell your friends, for there is a ball knower. Share the good news of such a word. You know what I mean? Go out, run, tell the folks. And we're going to end on this one because what a perfect super chub from our friend of the show and number one super fan of Christian Kirby. Do you know who it is?
Oh, it's definitely Hunter Lacey.
It is Hunter Lacey. Hunter Lacey paid $20 to let the world know that Christian Kirby had a Cam Newton jersey hanging up in his room as a kid.
False. It was a Herschel Walker jersey, and I got it for my 8th birthday.
I'm calling cap, Jonathan.
You did claim that you are an Auburn fan.
Mom, send the picture right now. I know you're watching.
Give me a wiggle just once.
Hell no.
Hey, we had a great time tonight. Hope you guys did as well. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. We'll see you tomorrow. Multiple film studies, another live show, multiple hours of content on this place. There's only one place to be. It's right here, locked in on the Film God Network. I love it.